Welcome inside Labatt Memorial Park, London Majors Baseball here on Majors TV.
Majors win! The Majors walk it up!
We're doing great. I feel amazing.
Hit well to left field. Going back. Do you believe it? He's hit it out. Edging towards third. Here's the relay from Hernandez. Not in time.
And to direct your attention to the first base side for the starting lineup of the visiting Kitchener Panthers.
And welcome to Labatt Memorial Park, the home of the London Majors. We got a great matchup for you here this evening between the Kitchener Panthers and the London Majors. The Kitchener Panthers have been one of the best offensive teams in all of the CBL. They're sitting at 5-5, coming off of a tough loss to the Hamilton Cardinals. As for the Majors, they are 6-3, coming off of a very convincing 9-0 whopping of the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. They're 6-3. They're hoping to build off of their win and start a winning streak. But without further ado, it's time for some baseball. And although the weather may not indicate it's the perfect day for baseball, we're going to play some baseball. Let's send it up to the booth. Dylan Baker is with Justin Koehler. Gentlemen.
Evan, thank you. Good to be at Labatt Memorial Park here on this Friday night, despite the overcast weather and potential rain in the forecast. Dylan Baker, Justin Koehler alongside you, and Evan mentioned it there off the top of the broadcast. Justin, a convincing victory for the Majors in Chatham on Tuesday.
Some great numbers from them. You know, they've just been on a really good streak offensively across the board. We've mentioned a few times already throughout the season the versatility from top to bottom, but we've gotten a few really, really good displays from them so far. When they're able to get ahead, they're able to get ahead pretty hard. That's the message that we've been seeing so far. And hopefully, if push comes to shove, they're hoping to carry it into today's matchup as well.
Well, Justin, when I was last here, it was the home opener. I think one of the things that we were talking about was that this team is not necessarily predicated on its power. They more spray the ball around. They can steal some bases, move the runners along the base paths that way. But we saw 5 home runs for the Majors on Tuesday, a power display that we really haven't seen before from this team.
Yeah, and they, you mentioned the kind of small ball mentality they've previously had. It's really been working well for them at times. A lot of hit and run, a lot of stolen bases. Everyone loves the power, though. Everyone loves a good amount of pop, and it's an easy way to drive in runs, get the audience all involved, too. So you love to see it, and you'll love seeing everything click behind the bat as well when it comes to the power. Obviously, it's great to see that contact, great to see the speed, but you need a good amount of power to win these ball games consistently in this league with how well everyone is doing behind the bat. And I think Roop Chandradat is going to be incredibly happy to see that regardless.
Absolutely. 16 combined runs over the last 2 Majors games after being held off the scoreboard in Welland, a game where the Jackfish pitching simply shut the Majors down. But in the 2 games since, they've found ways to score, and they found different ways to score because it was that small ball mentality, albeit in a loss on Sunday against the Guelph Royals. So it goes back to the idea of versatility, right? They can come at you in a variety of different ways, and they'll be looking to do that tonight against the Kitchener Panthers ball club that they've seen twice already this year.
And it's a good squad. You heard Evan mention it off the top. Their offensive capabilities with this Kitchener Panthers team. They've got a lot of pop in the bat. Sometime we'll see how their pitching side is able to match with that as the season goes on. Obviously, still very early. A lot of these numbers are still kind of inflated, both for offensive and pitching stats. But that's been their one low point so far, if we're going to nitpick a little bit. So we'll see if that improves today. Well, if the Majors are doing well, they should be able to be getting consistent, good contact. And it's whether or not the Panthers will be able to match that consistently today.
Absolutely, Justin. Well, let's take a look now at our clubhouse conversation for this week. Justin sat down with Trent Lenahan in this week's edition.
It's never going to be, oh, I see this grip online. Let me grab that ball. Let me throw it like that. Oh, perfect. Never, never. Everyone throws differently, right? You got to figure out what works for you.
So first off, appreciate talking with you. Obviously, you're one of the key relievers on this team now, and I'm probably not the only one who's going to ask you about your delivery. I think Roop described it as your slingshot delivery. How did that end up coming to pass in terms of when you were developing yourself as a pitcher?
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest guy. right? Good old 5'7", 165. Like, I'm not gonna overpower you. So I had to be pretty efficient, especially like growing up, right? As shocking as it is, I did hit a growth spurt at some point, right? So I was even smaller, right? So I had to be efficient in order to get some velo on the baseball, right? And that just kind of flew into that, and then adding in some deception to help with it, right? And utilizing my size to my advantage.
And on that kind of front, which would you say is a more powerful weapon in your arsenal, whether it be command or kind of deception on the mound?
My goal is to throw a fastball as hard as I can right by you. Like, I'm not trying to paint a corner. Obviously, like your 0-2, you're trying to hit a spot, but my goal is not do that. I know I have the stuff to get by guys, so that's all I'm trying to do, right? Use the curveball, use the fastball, just get it by you, allow that deception to play.
And of those pitches in your arsenal, on that kind of front, which would you have the most pride in what you developed in terms of being able to fool some of these batters at the plate?
Honestly, it's my changeup. I haven't been able to throw a changeup for 5 years. And then this offseason, I was able to develop one. And I feel like it's going to be a huge weapon for me, especially against righties. I've never struggled against lefties, obviously. Left on left, it's always tough at bat. But I've always had like some more issues with righties. And adding that changeup, I feel like is just a pitch I take pride in, at least finally being able to throw one.
And how difficult is it being able to develop a new pitch? Obviously, you talk to anyone who just watches baseball and you're like, oh, I would love for them to develop a knuckle. I'd love for them to get like a 99 fastball, blah, 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 blah. How hard is it to actually train yourself to have that as a reliable tool?
Well, for context, I probably have thrown 15 different changeups in the last 4 years. Nothing stuck. And then this off season, I was working out at Driveline, really good baseball, really good analytics there. And I accidentally threw one that spun less than the rest. And I was like, oh, that kind of works. Let's use that one, right? And then you figure out what I did on that one pitch, and then boom, new changeup.
And so looking at the team as a whole, obviously there's a lot of different aspects that go into what would make a successful London Majors season from game one all the way to the end of the season. If you had to use one word that you would tell everyone on this team to focus on throughout the entire year, what would that word be?
Just effort, hard work. It's all that matters, right? Like, the harder you work, the better you're gonna get out of it. There's gonna be a day where I'm like, I have no idea where this pitch is going. But the effort's gotta be there, the preparation, everything like that.
What's something you're personally hoping to develop by the time the season is over?
I'm just trying to make sure I, stay healthy, stay ready to go, make sure I'm on top of my recovery. Long season, and as a reliever, you never know when you're coming in.
So really, that's everything I got for you. Really appreciate your time today. Best of luck with the season ahead. I know everyone at home is excited to watch.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That, of course, is not Trent Lenahan. That was Zach Laird in this week's edition of Clubhouse Conversations with Justin Koehler. Well, staying on the topic of pitching and Zach Laird, tonight's ceremonial first pitch, Justin, will be thrown out by a legend, Damian Warner, on hand to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, and a strike to Alex Springer. A real treat to have Damian in the ballpark tonight. You will have a chance to hear from him throughout the broadcast this evening as well.
I'm so incredibly excited. For anyone who knows me, I adore the Olympics, and to have the chance for us to have a gold medalist, a hometown hero right beside us during the broadcast, incredibly looking forward to it. Should be a really, really fun conversation, so look forward to that. We'll jump to that as the broadcast ends up going on, but hard not to get a little bit giddy, a little excited to talk with him a bit later.
Well, Damian Warner throwing out the first pitch tonight. The next one will be thrown by Majors left-hander Travis Keys, who gets the ball after a strong performance in a defeat at the hands of the Welland Jackfish last Saturday. Opposing him, Samuel Quintana, Justin.
Yeah, so we were talking about these pitchers a little bit before, and it should be a solid matchup. Quintana so far right now, a 3.97 ERA for him, 1-0 record. Been hit around a little bit here and there throughout the course of the very young season so far, giving up 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 walks, but 9 strikeouts as well. Ks per 9, 7.15, and then walks per 9, 3.97. So some solid numbers. He'd obviously love to improve it, and he'll get the chance in front of the Majors today, and he'll have the chance to do that against a pretty solid one at that for the Majors in Travis Keys here. Obviously, 2-1 record, 2.95 ERA. Not a big strikeout numbers guy, but induces a lot of soft contact, relies on the defense behind him, leads to that 687 Ks per 9 and a 245 walks per 9 as well. So some good stuff from Travis. Yeah, you mentioned his previous start against Welland. It's tough when you pitch really, really well, but the game is just not in your favor. That's kind of what happened to him a little bit. We've seen some great stuff from him so far. Really looking forward to see how he carries it in against the Panthers offense today.
Absolutely, Justin. 6 1/3 for Keys in his last outing. Samuel Quintana on the other side for the Kitchener Panthers has faced the majors twice already this season. A 2-inning outing in his first appearance, 1 1/3 in his next time out to the mound against London. So will be interesting to see how the majors fare in already their third time seeing not just the Kitchener Panthers this season, but Samuel Quintana as well. It's been mixed results for the majors against Kitchener this year. 1-1 of the 2 games, but neither one of them played in this ballpark.
You could definitely say that about both these teams. Mixed results. They've both had their hot streaks. They've both had their cold streaks right now. I think Kitchener is going to be the prime example of that, getting off to a really, really hot start to get the year going. Now fall into a little bit of the middle of the pack, sitting in 5th place. But the majors have been in a pretty similar situation as well. They're right now sitting in 3rd. They've been a little higher in the standings. They've had some solid contact games. They've had some rougher contact games. We'll see how it all comes together. And like you mentioned, a solid matchup, always one to look forward to. And the majors would love to get the job done right on home territory in London today.
Absolutely they would, Justin, trying to make it 2 wins in a row after a resounding effort in Chatham on Tuesday night. Well, we will check in with Majors manager Roop Chandernat, who sat down with our very own Evan Fredrickson pregame in today's Roop's Report.
All right, I'm here with Roop Chandernat, GM and co-owner of the London Majors. Roop, as always, thanks so much for doing this. You guys are coming off a very good win in Chatham on Tuesday, winning 9-0. What was your evaluation of that game on Tuesday?
You know what? Our offense has been good. Chatham games before, and I keep saying it's when, it's not how many hits you get, it's when. And Chatham got some timely hits, and we just need more timely hits. But our lineup, if it's going good, it's a deep lineup, 1 to 9, and I always say it's 1 to 13 or 14. How many of our guys we have? We have a lot of guys that come off the bench that are good players. So when our lineup's going good, we can put up some runs, I believe.
You got Travis Keys on the mound here against Kitchener. He had a good start against Welland his last time out. What are your expectations for him here this evening?
You said it. Good start. Every time Travis is on the mound, we get a good quality start. He's a pro pitcher. He keeps us in the game. So we just got to go out there, score some runs for him so he feels comfortable on the hill.
And lastly, you're up against Samuel Quintana, a big offseason addition for the Kitchener Panthers. What does your offense have to do to try and get to him early on in the game?
Don't chase pitches, we got to stay disciplined, see balls in zone, hit balls, So if we start chasing, then he becomes more effective. He's a good pitcher, but we just can't chase balls out of the zone.
Roop, as always, thanks so much and good luck tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy, starting at just $15.95. Fully customizable with your team's logo, colors, and player details, and double-sided for twice the impact. A custom plate can be attached to the base for personalized engraving on each trophy. Great for player recognition. Ideal for keeper awards, participation trophies, or end-of-season celebrations. Order yours today at Nuthers.com or call 1-800-265-1554.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park, anthem complete. We are nearly set for first pitch as the London Majors take on the Kitchener Panthers tonight. The Ingersoll Ironbirds, not sure what age group, but they're taking the field as well with the Majors today. As you get a look at the Kitchener dugout, let's take a look at their starting lineup for this evening's affair. The Panthers trying to get into the win column here at Labatt Park against Travis Keys and the London Majors.
Should have some good contact, some good pop mixed in throughout this lineup as well. It'll all get going with Matteo Zeppieri in left field. Petey Kiefer, he's the shortstop for today. Malik Williams in center. He's Vani Penalve over in right field as well. It'll be followed up by Rafael Gross, the catcher for today. Yumi Ibarra, the first baseman. Samuel Bruno, the DH. Zane Scanzi and Charlie Towers to round things out. So it should be good. Like I said, a lot of power, get some good contact in there as well. It'll all come down to whether they're able to get it together and kind of rack up some solid ABs back to back to bat, try and turn momentum in their favor. It's been the one drawback that we've seen for the Majors so far. On the flip side, we've seen some streaks. I was able to talk to co-owner and general manager Roop Chandernat a few games ago, and he said that the biggest struggle so far has been the middle innings in particular. So some really, really hot starts, some hot ends, and a bit of back and forth in the middle, so to speak. And that's been a common trend for the Panthers as well, game to game. So I think this game will really be decided in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th as we go. We'll see how that actually changes if one team's able to get out to a hot start. But it should be a good showing here, to say the least. And the Kitchener Panthers lineup from top to bottom has some good potential heading into today's contest.
Travis Keys, get a look at him on the mound there as he takes his warm-up pitches. 18 1/3 innings spread across 3 starts this season. 2.95 earned run average, a 2-1 record, a 1.09 whip, 6.87 Ks per 9, and a 2.45 walks per 9. Commands the strike zone very well. You mentioned a little bit earlier, Justin, not a huge strikeout guy, but generates a lot of weak contact, and he'll be aiming to do that against the Panthers tonight as Matteo Zeppieri steps into the batter's box. Keys, the left-hander, trying to build off another strong outing, his last time out in the loss against Welland. Works into the windup. First pitch of the ball game on its way. Upstairs for ball 1 from Keys.
So for Zeppieri, this is second season now, I guess, in the IBL to the CBL. So he's been with the Panthers both years.
Fouls that one back.
He's been struggling a little bit with the contact comparatively to last season. Swung 289, an OPS of 964 last year. This year in comparison, batting 194, but his OPS is pretty dang close at 931. So the contact's been a little bit of a struggle, but he's been able to get on base at arguably the most elite amount across the CBL. 16 walks so far, 12 strikeouts comparatively. So he's able to get on base. He's able to get some damage done. So we'll see how he is throughout the course of the game and for the first at-bat as well.
Well, Matteo Zeppieri has 9 more walks than the next closest hitter in the Canadian Baseball League. He's got 16. Daiki Abe of the Welland Jackfish has 7. It's a 4-way tie with 7 walks. Trent Lenahan in that group as well. But Zeppieri's been getting on base at a crazy rate, including right here. He works himself a walk, and he's aboard to lead off the first inning for Kitchener.
You know, I don't know if he willed it into existence or we willed it into existence by talking about that, but yeah, just wicked plate discipline, able to get on, and that's the exact kind of profile you want at the start of your lineup. You want them to set the table, you want them to get on base somehow, some way, and everything will fall into place from there after that first AB.
Petey Kiefer into the batter's box now for Kitchener. He's the shortstop in the ball game today. Zeppieri running on the first pitch. It's upstairs. Throw from Diolio. Not in time. Ball skips away from the shortstop, Michael Escato. So a stolen base for Zeppieri, and he's in scoring position.
Good push from him there. Really good jump from the first base side. Of course, Diolio's throws over towards second have been pretty impeccable so far this season. Just not able to get it fast enough from some great speed off Zeppieri there. And already in the early goings, the Panthers are starting to threaten here.
.1-0 on its way. That finds the zone. 1-1. Mentioned Keys likes to command the strike zone. So far through 7 pitches, that is just his second strike of this outing. Zeppieri fakes a break at second, doesn't take off as Kiefer takes outside, and it's 2-1.
Always a risky one. You can get away with a little bit more sometimes, have a lefty in the mound and trying to steal third, but across the board, no matter who's on the mound, it's always a difficult task, especially when you have Eduardo Diolio behind the plate.
Zeppieri dancing. Keys spins back, and Zeppieri gets back. Catelli was trying to get into the head of Keys on the rubber, regardless of his intentions to run or not. 2-1, another great jump for Zeppieri. Throw from Diolio is a little bit high, and Zeppieri steals third. So he's 90 feet away here with nobody out in the first inning.
You know, if that one was a little bit more online, a few feet lower, that throw from Diolio, it definitely got there pretty quick. I think it would have been a tight one towards the bag if Diolio's throw was a little bit more online. But forced Dreyers to have to jump up a little bit, have to get in the air, and with that, just Zeppieri's speed is on full display, and now it's just 90 feet away from the first run of the ballgame.
Majors bring the infield in here in the first inning. Kiefer has a 2-2 count on him, fouls this one back.
Koehler's been solid so far this season in terms of just putting the ball in play. A .333 average, .429 on base, and a .571 slugging as well. So if there's anyone who could even just get contact, try and hit the outfield, or just try and hit it deep enough to score that run, it's a solid one there. But not in this case.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Keys sets down Koehler swinging. And there's one away here in the first.
I think that's what Keys needed. It's tough when you give up one walk to start the game off, and within the blink of an eye, they're already over on third base. I think he just needed that a little bit to try and slow this game down, try and shift things back in his favor, and the strikeout, doing it yourself, is one of the best ways to do that.
Malik Williams into the batter's box now for Kitchener. OPS over 1,000 for Williams so far this season. One long ball. Takes that pitch low. They'll appeal to first or ask for an appeal. Not granted. Now it is. No swing. Umpires trying to get on the same page there, but whether or not to grant an appeal, those umpires are, the home plate umpire is Brian Munt. The first base umpire is Matthew Kinnett. The third base umpire and crew chief is Justin Van Horn for this evening's affair. 1-0. That's there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Infield still drawn in here for the Majors.
Williams, a good chunk of experience in the IBL, now the CBL. 4 seasons with the Barrie Bay Cats, first season with the Panthers, and I would argue his best start to a season so far as well. .440 average on the year so far. And you mentioned that 1161 OPS, some solid numbers from him. 5 RBIs, just 4 strikeouts as well, so some good numbers from him in the 2026 season.
2-1 count here. Keys 6 of 14 pitches have been strikes. Offering on its way, chopped up the middle. Escato can't quite grab it cleanly. It's into center field. So Williams will reach, and the Panthers are on the board first. It's 1-0 Kitchener.
Tough one there. Quite the stretch to try and even get an attempt on that play. But some good hitting, some timely hitting. And when you have a runner 90 feet away over at third base, your headspace starts to change on what you should be doing defensively as well. So I think even if that play is made, you start thinking a little bit, do I make that throw home? Do I make that throw over to base? Do I get the easy out? Do I limit the runs this early on? There's a lot to think about, but I think it was just some timely hitting from Williams.
Yosvani Penalve into the batter's box, takes a strike in the inside corner, and it is 0-1. Still no ruling on the scoreboard for that play up the middle for Escato. I think that's probably a hit, Justin. If I were to score it, I would have hit.
I think I'd agree with you there.
Tough play up the middle.
I think if it was a little softer, maybe there would be a bit more of a conversation, but had some decent enough power behind it that it would have been tough to make.
3 pitches, all it takes to record the second out of the inning as Yosvani Penalve is down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning as well for Travis Keys, and there's 2 away.
I think Travis must have heard us say that he gets a lot of soft contact and doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but I think he wanted to prove us wrong a little bit. 2 strikeouts so far in the first inning of the game, so a solid effort from him so far, even with that one run given up.
Rafi Gross into the batter's box now for the Kitchener Panthers. 3 long balls on the season. First pitch ripped into left field. That's a base hit. Smoked off the bat of Gross there, and there's runners at first and second now with 2 away in the first.
That's just some good contact right there. Good positioning, good adapting to the pitch that's right in front of you. Might have been a tad early on it, a little bit of a chopper there, but was able to touch the outfield grass over and left. Advance Williams over towards second. Just a good little battle. Not a long battle, but able to get on base.
Junior Ibarra will step into the batter's box now for Kitchener. One of the best defensive catchers in the Canadian Baseball League. Right there with Eduardo Diolio, Robert Mullen in that mix as well. Has 2 on with 2 out. Runner in scoring position, trying to give Kitchener some early insurance.
You mentioned great behind the dish. Obviously won that Gold Glove last year with the Panthers as well. Been one of their mainstays, one of their fan favorites as well.
See on your screen there, struggling a little bit at the plate this season. A batting average under the Mendoza line. (1-0). Flared, shallow right field. That one's going to get down in front of Tucker Zadunik. Rounding third, charging for home is Malik Williams. There will be no throw as it skips past Lenahan. And Kitchener's up by a pair here in the first inning.
Good spot. Again, no crazy contact. We haven't been seeing any incredibly hard hit balls so far, but all you have to do is touch some grass and anything can happen in this league. We've seen it a couple times already this inning. Nothing too crazy, nothing too loud, but sometimes small ball works. Small ball's a good mentality to have. It can really work, and we've already been seeing it so far for the Panthers.
Samuele Bruno will step into the batter's box, faking a jump as Ibarra at first. It's fouled off, and 0-1 is the count. 22 pitches now for Travis Keys here in this first inning. He's had to work a little bit. Runners at the corners, 2 away, the offering. Check swing, foul off, and it's 0-2 here on Bruno.
Tough situation, but I think usually when Travis Keys is doing really well, he's working the bottom of the strike zone in particular and just able to get some off speed, just going outside of it, getting some of those fastballs to paint the corners. It looks like he's had a few pitches that have been a little bit higher in the zone than it looks like he's been wanting. That last one, that check swing that we just saw off Bruno, was a little bit high and inside comparatively to what we've been seeing. I don't know if that was what he was directly intending, but it was a little bit in the zone. Not too much movement on it, so we'll see if Travis is able to move a little bit down in the strike zone and make the most of that as this game pushes on here.
0-2 count after the foul off there from Bruno. Keys trying to put him away and strike out the side here in this first inning. The pitch, breaking ball, fouled off by Bruno, and the count remains 0-2. Putting up a good fight here, down 2 strikes. 4 straight foul balls for Samuele Bruno.
A good battle, and that's what you got to do when you got 2 runners on and wanting to really start trying to blow this game open as quick as you can. If you're the Panthers, 2 runs scored already, still 2 on. Have a chance to really try and shift momentum heavily in their favor, really before this game even gets going.
0-2, softly hit second base. First chance for Christian Anoa. He will go to the bag himself, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. But the Majors, they allow a couple and find themselves down 2 before stepping to the plate, as Kitchener takes an early lead in this ballgame.
Again, just some good contact top to bottom. We were talking a bit pregame of just how much power potential this Panthers lineup has and how much that they've shown that they can hit throughout the course of a few games early on in this season. But they were really just flashing their contact skills. It's really hard to get solid power, some solid, really barrel up a ball against Travis Keys. So sometimes you do have to rely on that small ball mentality like we've mentioned. But it's all about adapting, and it looks like that's what they've been able to do in the first inning of the game, and they've got a couple runs, a couple hits to show for it.
Well, you got to look at Samuel Quintana, who will take the ball today for the Kitchener Panthers, their team leader among qualified pitchers in earned run average this season. He will be facing a bit of a new look Majors lineup with a new face. You just saw him make the play at second. Christian Inoa, acquired by the team today. He is at second. He will bat third as the Majors shake things up in the order a little bit, Justin.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun having them there. Talking to Rup Chandranat before, the clear intention from the get-go was to have him in the middle of the order. Has some experience, obviously previously played with the Ottawa Titans. That's where that trade is coming from with the Frontier League. 26 years old, played 18 games so far this season, 242 average, but a 351 on base, 6 RBIs and a home run as well. Obviously plenty of potential. One of his better seasons was just last year, 2025, split it between Ottawa and the Quebec Capitals, where he combined to a 299 average, 8 home runs, 48 RBIs, which is a pretty solid number with the amount of playtime he's had. That's something he's looking to replicate, and with that power potential, that contact potential, it's clear to see why he's getting things going in the middle of the lineup here today.
So in the 3-hole, Eduardo Diolio follows him, Starling Joseph, then Tucker Zadunik, Jarrett Burney, who had a big day in Chatham on Tuesday, Xavier Whittle, bats 8th, and David Dreyers rounds things out for the London Majors in this one against a guy like we touched on a little bit earlier, Justin. The Majors have seen a few times this season in Samuel Quintana. Quintana got the win in the Panthers' victory over London a couple of weeks ago at Jack Couch Park, and then appeared in the Majors win last week as well.
He's got plenty of good stuff in there. Can obviously mix up the strike zone wherever he wants, but it's been a bit of that command that's been a little bit of an issue. That's led to a few runs, a bit of an inflated ERA so far this season. I think his start here today will really show how things go. Hasn't had any crazy deep outings, but has the starting potential, the bullpen potential obviously as well, so he can turn it on when he wants. He's really just hoping to get into a bit of a rhythm so far here, and he's hoping to get it going up against this Majors lineup today.
His longest outing of the season, 4 innings back on May 30th, last Saturday in Guelph. He will deal with Michael Escato into the batter's box to lead things off. Escato, as you saw on your screen just a moment ago, leading the Canadian Baseball League in hits this season. Has been finding ways to get on base, putting the ball in play and finding holes. Squares around a bunt here on Quintana and takes ball 1 up and away. Not quite the same spread between the first and second place in hits this season as there is in the first and second place with walks. That one's a strike there to Escato. Escato's got 19 hits. Jonah Weisner of the Welland Jackfish has 18. He is in second in the Intercounty Baseball League. No bunt singles, though, this year for Escato, despite the fact that he's squared twice now in this at-bat.
You know, we've seen a few changes in the Majors lineup so far this season.
Fly ball, center field. Moving back on it is Groves. Has a beat on it, makes the catch, and there's one away.
As I say, the lineup has moved a little bit here and there, especially the likes of Trent Lenahan, Tucker Zadunik, Eduardo Diolio moving around game to game. But one of the mainstays pretty well has been Michael Escato, top of the order, pretty much every single game that we've seen so far in the 2026 season. So Rup Chandradad obviously liking that consistency that he's getting to kick things off.
Well, Trent Lenahan steps into the batter's box in the 2-hole today. Batting over 300, 3 long balls this season for the Majors. Takes a ball up and away. Lenahan tied for the team lead in home runs with Tucker Zadunik. Sends this one high in the air to left field, but that one's going to be well foul. Didn't quite have the distance and was not fair. So 1-1 the count here on Lenahan.
Some good lift on it. Would love to straighten that out a little bit, and was a tad early on it as well. So might be sitting fastball here, trying to clobber one of those over towards left center. So we'll see how Quintana responds to that.
1-1, waves at a breaking ball, and the count is now 1-2. Of the 3 home runs that Lenahan has hit this season, none of them have come here at Labatt Park. They've all been on the road. 1-2 on its way. That pitch misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one of the struggles for the Majors roster so far has been hitting with runners in scoring position as well. And Lenahan's numbers almost encapsulate that. 3 home runs, but just 4 RBIs. So a lot of solo shots so far this season.
Waves at that pitch, comes up empty for strike 3. Lenahan will step towards first, but Ibarra applies the tag, and there's 2 away now in the bottom of the first.
Saw a lot of off-speed pitches there. Obviously, if we're able to pinpoint up in the booth that it looks like Lenahan might be sitting on a fastball, if you're the starting pitcher, if you're Quintana out there, that's obviously something that you know as well. And it looked like that was something Quintana really leaned into in that at-bat.
Well, here he is, the newest face for the London Majors, Christian Inoa, into the batter's box, playing second base today. Facing the left-hander Quintana. Offering. In the air, center field, wasting no time as Inoa. Gross takes a couple of steps to his right and will make the catch. So it's a 9-pitch inning for Quintana and the Panthers. They lead by 2 after 1. You're watching London Majors Baseball live on Majors TV.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Canada's ball teams deserve uniforms built to win. VMS Sportswear delivers custom jerseys, pants, and caps. Level up your look with custom team apparel. Choose your colors. Drop your logo. Own your look. Order now at vmssportswear.ca.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Get ready.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park. Good look at Travis Keys on the mound for this one. Justin trying to settle in a little bit after a bit of a shaky start to this ball game in the first.
Yeah, you can definitely say that again. A big shout out to the Panthers lineup so far, being able to adapt a little bit to Travis Keys' pitching style out on the mound. But yeah, you kind of mentioned there, just needs to settle in. It looks like that strike zone has been a little bit erratic in the early goings, leaving a lot up in the zone. Again, being able to get those Panthers batters to just make good contact on it. No crazy power, but all it takes is to hit the outfield grass, and they're just hitting around a little bit so far. 3 hits already. But the speed on the bases, the adaptability from this Panthers lineup that we saw in 1 inning of play, we'll see if it continues, but it's really going to be up to Keys to just try and settle down out there.
Well, he started to find the strike zone in the later part of that inning, but like you mentioned, Justin, some pitches that were left up and left in hittable spots for the Panthers. He will deal with 8, 9, and 1 here in the Kitchener order. In the top of the second inning, Zane Scansey will lead things off for the Panthers. Panthers have played the most games of any team in the CBL this season. Scansey's appeared in all 10 of them. Sends this one high in the air. Shallow center field. Bernie coming in. Escato going out. And it's the shortstop, Michael Escato, who makes the grab in shallow center. Here's one away.
Good communication out there. Almost looked a little bit dicey the closer and closer those fielders got together. Looks like they might be having a little fun out there as well. Be checking on his eye? Joseph's
I think Starling Joseph's got something in his eye. That's Jared Bernie out in center field. You'll see Bernie some more in center over the next few games here as he works on Joseph's eye. I don't think Escato off the bat wanted anything to do with that pop-up. He kind of looked out. Escato the one checking on Joseph's eye. Bernie out in center.
All smiles, that's what you like to see.
Yeah, it is what you like to see, but I think Escato was like, okay, is anybody going to come take this? Because it's far easier for the center fielder or the left fielder to come in and make that catch. But Escato does the job, gets out there, makes the grab. Charlie Towers into the batter's box. First pitch misses to him. It's ball 1. .1-0 is in there for a strike. It's 1-1 now on Towers.
And Towers, some mixed experience across the league. Played with the Cardinals back in 23, the Maple Leafs in 24, and has been with the Panthers since 2025. A career .233 average across those 4 years so far.
Ahead in the count here, 2-1. The offering from Keys. That's there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Those are the pitches that you want to see from Keys. Once he's able to dial in on where exactly the bottom part of that strike zone is, that's when he really starts going to work on these batters.
2-2 in the dirt. Ball 3 now as the count runs full here on Towers. Mentioned the fact that Keys threw his fair share of pitches in that first inning, got up to 26. Made quick work of the leadoff man Scansey, but into a deeper count here against Towers, and that one just misses off the outside corner. Crowd thought he found the zone. I think Keys did too, but it's ball 4 to Towers.
Tough one there. And, that can be the real difficulty depending on the umpire strike zone game to game to game, when a lot of your play style depends on where exactly the bottom of that strike zone is. So we might see that a little bit in the early goings, the first couple innings, just almost experimenting with a little bit high in the zone, a little bit low in the zone to really dial that in. We'll see if Travis is able to use that walk, at least in his favor.
Oh, good move there from Keys. Towers back with a dive. Keys thought he might have had him on that play. Travis Keys, one of the best pickoff moves in the Canadian Baseball League. Certainly keeps runners on their toes. Didn't use it against Zeppieri when he got aboard in the first inning. Zeppieri in the batter's box now for Kitchener. Offering on its way, cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Towers not on the move on the first pitch.
We saw that a lot back in that game against the Guelph Royals, where they were trying to be a little bit aggressive on the base paths, especially early on. But like you mentioned, with Travis Key's ability to get those runners out at first when he can, and obviously being a left-handed pitcher can help in that regard as well. It's a dangerous pitcher to try and run on.
Couple of big swings from Zeppieri so far in this at-bat. Has come up empty on both of them. 0-2 on its way. Chops this one on the ground. It is foul. And the count will remain 0-2 and reaching for that breaking pitch from Keys.
Could definitely see Towers was out from first pretty quick there. Especially turning things over to Zeppieri, who has a lot of speed on his own. Might be trying to do a little bit of hit and run here if they can, if Zeppieri is able to get some solid contact.
Keys throws over. Towers read it all the way. So that's a second disengagement for Keys here in this at-bat. So he's got one more. He's got to get Towers on the next one, which can allow Towers to take maybe a bit more of an aggressive lead here. 0-2-1 out the pitch. Zeppieri in the air, left field. After it goes Joseph, now moving in towards the line, makes the catch, and there's two away.
That's what you want there. I think especially with the speed from Towers on base as well, and really from across a lot of this lineup, it doesn't hurt sometimes to have a decent fly ball that tracks out to the outfield, especially to Joseph over there, when you have a runner on just first base. There's not a lot they can do with that. You're limiting any chance that they have of advancing, getting over to second on something, even like a fielder's choice in some regards. I think that was one of the best moves that you could do, apart from a strikeout, obviously, if you're Keys.
Petey Kiefer to the batter's box late on the first pitch, 0-1. May have had a piece, says the home plate umpire. Kiefer was the first strikeout victim for Keys back in the first inning. 0-1 in the air, foul territory. After it goes Dreyers, he's got it, and that'll do it for the top of the second inning. So a base runner for the Panthers, but no more. Travis Keys does the rest of the job and will get through the second inning scoreless.
That's what he needed to do, especially with how many at-bats, how many plate appearances there were in the first inning. Anything that you can do to just slow the game down as much as possible, whether that be just doing everything you can to keep that runner over at first base, not letting them to advance, trying to get some soft flyouts, anything to just limit the momentum that the Panthers built up in that first inning. And that's exactly what Travis was able to do.
Well, we anticipate the arrival of Damian Warner here shortly on our broadcast. We want to tell you about why Damian's here tonight and about the cause that is supporting tonight's London Majors game. It is Kids Sport. So Kids Sport is a national not-for-profit. It's a registered Canadian Amateur Athletic Association that helps remove the financial barriers that prevent kids from playing sport. Since it was created in 1993, over 900,000 kids across the country have been given the chance to play sport through Kids Sport grants supported by over 176 community chapters who are mostly volunteer run. Now, the unique part about Kids Sport's system is that wherever the money is raised, it stays within the local community. That ensures that their donors, their dollars are going directly to the children that reside within their region. Kids Sport believes that every kid deserves the chance to play, to make friends, and be part of a team no matter their family's financial situation. So Sport for All is the main goal. They work to ensure that no child is ever left watching from the sidelines. They support families in any seasonal organized sporting activity, brought forward to the tune of up to $250 per child, because the reality is cost keeps 1 in 2 Canadians out of organized sport, Canadian kids that is. Kids Sport provides grants to help cover these costs to ensure that no kid is ever left watching in the stands. In 2025 alone, Kids Sport London paid out over $172,000, allowing 755 local children to get off the sidelines and into the game. The program, which is administered by the London Sports Council, spent 100% of the funds raised on families. No admin fees whatsoever. Kids Sport London has been quietly making a big difference for local families who struggle to cover the cost of youth sports, offering grants of up to $250 and for registration fees and equipment. Every dollar donated goes directly to families so that all kids can play. Eduardo Diolio into the batter's box, and Damian Warner joining us here in the broadcast booth. Damian, great to have you. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us here.
No, thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about Kids Sport here, Damian. Obviously, such an important organization to be part of. Why do you want to affiliate yourself with this organization?
Well, for me, sports has been my whole life, and I've seen through my experiences what sports can bring, and it's been the most magical thing in my life. Every important person that I have in my life, I've met through sport, and I just think that all the opportunities and all the things that I've got to experience, I think it's something that's available for everybody if you have the opportunity. And most people, there's a lot of people in the city that don't necessarily have the means to play sports, and Kids Sport is right there to try to help them.
0-2 to Diolio, misses off the plate outside. Justin?
So obviously, I work in a lot of news. I'm talking a lot of economics, talking a lot of inflation, a lot of those numbers. So obviously, tough financial times right now across the board. Just how often are you running into these kids where the one thing holding them back is simply that financial aspect day to day?
I mean, there's a lot. I've worked with a lot of charities in the city. I've worked with Food Banks Canada. I've worked with Kids Sport, and you just see so many families where some people can afford to put their kids in so many different sports, but at the same time, there's so many other kids that are sitting on the sidelines and not able to play baseball, play hockey, and we have a lot of great athletes that are missing out on really cool experiences and opportunities, and I think that's what's so great about Kids Sport is that they're just trying to bridge that gap and allow people to kind of get their foot in the game, and I think when they do that, the world is their oyster, and so many things are a possibility.
Have you had any bright sparks that you've noticed? Obviously, for a lot of kids, a lot of families in those situations, it can be a little bit bleak at times. Hard to find the optimism, the positives. Have you had any good instances of just running into these kids? They're just so eager, and any opportunity that they get, they're just getting right in behind, and a big smile on their face as they're doing it.
Oh, absolutely. I've been to different events where Kids Sports puts on events for kids to come and do a day where they get to go to run bases or play baseball or play hockey, and in my life has been sports, so I've just been around opportunities like that, and it's so cool. My life wouldn't be what it is without sport, and I just commend Kids Sport and every other organization like it that's trying to bridge that gap to allow kids to have an opportunity to play. And from there, you don't necessarily have to be a pro athlete, but just to get that experiences where you can go in there, you can learn how to have success, you can learn how to have failure, just the social aspect, and obviously just the physical aspect of it all too. So sports are very important.
And so you've talked a lot about how big of an impact the finance side can have on these kids. Obviously, you personally being so close and supportive can have a big impact on these kids. How big of an impact have they had on you throughout this entire journey so far?
Oh, man. Just everywhere I go, just being down here, just seeing all the little kids come up to me and just saying, wishing me luck or asking for autographs, and I think it kind of just feeds off one another, I never really expected to be in the position that I am, especially at 36 years old, being able to compete, and we just have an incredible community here, and I just try to do whatever I can to kind of shine a light wherever possible to show, what, there's a lot of kids in the city that, if given the opportunity, would make great use of it, and I just want to say I commend Kids Sport for doing everything that they're doing. I think it's an incredible organization, and anything that I can do to help, I'll be always there.
Well, one of the things that Kids Sport advertises that all the dollars stay within the community, right? And you're a London guy, you train here, you're born here. What is it about this community that makes it so special?
I think that's a really tricky question. There must be something in the water, but I look back to the Olympics in 2021, and we had a celebration here in the arena here, and I think 5 of the gold medalists were from here in London, Ontario, which is more than any other place in all of Canada. So that's like we're doing something right here. We just got to get more and more people the opportunity. And then you see like athletes like the Brown brothers in football. You see Shaden Sharp in basketball. We have a crazy amount of hockey players in the NHL, right? So we just have a lot of really good athletes here in London, Ontario. It must be something to do with the community. Like, we're supported like no other, but we can do a little bit more to help out so all these kids have an opportunity.
You were introduced today as a hometown hero for London. What does that mean to you? Obviously, you've got the gold medal in decathlon. You're a decorated athlete, but just to hear that you're a hero in your home community, how impactful is that for you, Damien?
It means a lot to me. It's something that I don't take lightly, and every time I'm out there, if a kid comes up to me, I try to represent myself and this community the best as possible, because at the end of the day, I always attribute my success to this community. When I was coming out of high school and I didn't have the means to play my sport, we had a little get-together at Kelsey's where the community came together and they raised some money to send me off to the Olympics, and every step along the way, whenever I needed help, there's been somebody there. I'm extremely grateful, and just to be in the position that I am now, it's really cool. Again, I didn't think I'd be doing this for as long as I have, but it's been the ride of my life, and I'm looking forward to going up to the Olympics in 2028 and representing Canada once more.
Well, we can't wait to see you there, Damien. Really appreciate you taking the time. Again, that is Kids Sport. You can donate and help make children's sporting dreams come true. This is gold medalist Damien Warner. We will take a break and be right back. Majors and Panthers on Majors TV.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
We got this, united, step it up, keep on thriving, we trying, keep shining, living in a world where we...
When we're together, amazing things happen. Feel what it means to be greater together. Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy, starting at just $15.95. Fully customizable with your team's logo, colors, and player details, and double-sided for twice the impact. A custom plate can be attached to the base for personalized engraving on each trophy. Great for player recognition. Ideal for keeper awards, participation trophies, or end-of-season celebrations. Order yours today at Nuthers.com or call 1-800-265-1554.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park once again. That was Damien Warner talking about the importance of kids sport and the impact that it can have on the community. Justin, great to talk to Damien, obviously a decorated athlete in his own right and helping promote a very important and meaningful cause.
What a cool guy. Across the board, love chatting with him right there. I mentioned it when we were talking to him. Obviously, a lot of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is talking finance, economics, across the board, whether that be nationally, provincially, locally in particular. And those feelings are really being felt across the board. Obviously, London's unemployment numbers not too great right now provincially. So, and that's just impacting families on a direct level day to day to day. So it's an important cause that's holding a lot of these kids back from getting in these sports that we love, that we follow regularly. So to have someone like Damien Warner be a big spokesperson, a big support for that, I think is huge for that ever important cause.
Malik Williams into the batter's box, takes ball one. You mentioned it, Justin, just the things that sports can teach you, not to mention the social aspect and the health benefits of playing sports, but the lessons you can learn from playing sports. So important, and great that Kids Sport and Damien Warner have partnered up to try to help promote this initiative and get more and more kids into sport in some trying financial times. 1-1 the count here on Williams. The pitch from Keys is inside for ball two. Williams 1 for 1 on the day, singled up the middle. That was the ball that hit off the glove of Michael Escato back in the first inning. 3-1 count now as that pitch misses in the dirt.
So we'll see if Travis Keys is able to keep the pace that he had back in the second inning. Obviously, if you're just joining us, it was a bit of a tough first inning for him. 3 hits given up, a couple walks as well. 2 runs on the board early for the Panthers, but really shut it down in the second. Pretty quick outing from him there. Just 4 batters, 1 walk. So not too bad. He'd love to settle in here and keep things close for this Majors lineup to try and bridge the gap early on.
Full count here on Malik Williams. Offering on its way. On the ground, hit hard. Nice snag by Travis Keys. Throws on to first, and there's one away. How about that stop for the Majors left-hander on the mound?
You know, there's something about Travis Keys playing here at home at Labatt Memorial Park where he just really wants to flex the defense sometimes. Some great reaction times. We saw that behind the back one a couple weeks ago, and a great stop from him on the mound. Really tough. You need some wicked reaction time to make plays like that.
Yosvani Penalve into the batter's box here for the Panthers. 0 for 1 on the day. Waves at that pitch, comes up empty. It's 0-1. You mentioned that last start at home that Keys had. That was back on May 22nd against the Guelph Royals. His best outing of the season, 7 2/3 of 1-run ball, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 6 hits allowed in the outing. A really impressive performance for Keys as he floats that one in just high.
Got the CBL Pitcher of the Week nod there for that effort as well. Just a great showing from him across the board.
1-1 lined back up the middle. That's a base hit for Penalve. So some hard contact there, and the Panthers have a runner at first with 1 away in the inning.
Again, that one caught quite a lot of the plate, and we've said it a few times. Travis Keys does not get a lot of strikeouts. Obviously, he proved us wrong back in the first inning, racking up 2 to kick things off. But with that, he pounds the strike zone consistently, inning to inning to inning. Sometimes that can really bite him a few times. Sometimes it puts quite a lot of trust in the defense behind him. But on a play like that, there's really not too much that you can do. Just a solid hit from Penalve there to get on.
Rafael Gross into the batter's box here for Kitchener. 1 for 1 on the day. First pitch from Keys is fouled straight back, 0-1.
Gross, was the second of what ended up being 3 singles throughout the course of the first inning. Again, no crazy contact back in that first. Nothing hit too hard, but enough to get the damage done early on.
Extremely late on that pitch, and it's 0-2. Hesitation there for Gross. Didn't want to swing at it, but then realized it was going to be a strike.
That's one of those ones where you just kind of wanted to make enough contact to try and foul it off. Not quite a lot of confidence in that swing there. Comes with some of the deception from Travis Keys, but early 0-2 count.
Penalve stands over at first. Keys will throw over and check on him. He's back standing. Not an overly aggressive lead for Penalve, who has 2 stolen bases on the season. Has been picked off twice, actually, this year. So certainly susceptible to that. Fakes a break. Pitch gets fouled straight back by Gross there.
Definitely thought about it. One of those instances where I'm not too sure if he had any intentions of gunning it over towards second, likely just trying to get in Keys' head a little bit, shake him up.
Keys still ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, has crossed the 50 pitch mark here in the third inning, as you can see on your screen. The 0-2 breaking ball didn't quite break as much as Keys needed it to, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Wouldn't be too shocked to see a little bit more off speed, in particular down in the zone with that runner over that first. Penalve, like we've mentioned, no crazy speed comparatively to some of the other players on the Panthers roster. Would love to just get some soft contact.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him to chase up and out of the zone, and there's 2 away here in the third inning.
Great effort, great pitch. It's exactly what you got to do when you're trying to induce that swing and miss. Perfect location, especially with how much Keys caters towards the bottom of the strike zone. When you just throw a fastball a little up, adjust that sight line a little bit from what you're used to for these batters, you can get a lot of damage done.
Yuner Ibarra will step into the batter's box now for Kitchener. Drove home a run in his last trip to the plate. Flared a single into right that dropped in front of Tucker Zadunik. Takes the strike there, and it's 0-1. That one's scorched into left, and it will get down for a base hit. So Ibarra 2 for 2 in the ball game, and the Panthers have 2 on with 2 out here in the third inning.
You know, there's a reason that Ibarra has been so depended on by this Panthers squad for a few years now. Obviously, his pedigree behind the plate, great game caller across the board, but we've seen his contact potential. We've seen his power potential in previous years. Is really still just trying to turn it on this year, and it's hits like that in situations like this against a pretty well-rounded Majors squad that'll start bumping those numbers back in your favor.
Samuele Bruno into the batter's box here for the Panthers. Runner in scoring position with 2 out in the frame. Fouls this one back, and it's 0-1. Ooh, heads up. Sounds like it made its way into the crowd.
We usually get 1 to 2 reactions. That's a few oohs coming from the audience when one kind of goes out there and becomes a souvenir, or we'll end up seeing claps. And it's the former that can be a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes.
Oh, look at this. A young fan gets the ball. What a moment. Look at how happy he is. Fouled straight back here. Great job by that fan making a young kid's day. 0-2 the count here.
Love that. You mentioned it. What a great smile from that kid right there getting that ball.
Major is one of the teams in the CBL that allow you to keep the foul balls. Some teams don't. You can trade them in for a freezy or, I don't know, a piece of bubble gum, but I'd say a souvenir baseball is better than either of those things. 0-2, chopped on the ground to third. Dreyer's racing in, fields it on the run, has no throw, spins. He's got a man caught at third base. In time, and they've got Penalve. How about that play from Dreyer's? Couldn't make the throw to first, but able to get the lead runner and end the inning. So the Majors strand a pair.
Tough one, tough spot, but some great baseball IQ from Dreyers there. All it takes is a little bit of some motion over towards first, make the runner think that you're going to go for that play, try and throw him out to just get a player to overrun their base, not pay attention for that split second, and wow, yeah, what a great play from Dreyers there.
Absolutely. Well, let's go find our very own Evan Fredrickson down at field level. Evan, what do you got for us?
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. The offense has been a bright spot for the Majors this season, and last time I said that, I was talking about Michael Escada, who is leading the league in hits, and to my surprise, he still does. But I want to talk about a guy who is a little bit more underrated maybe, and that's Trent Lenahan. Now, Lenahan was an off-season acquisition for this team, and he's well known for his power, also a bit of swing and miss, but he's tied for the team league in home runs with 3. But one stat that I found interesting was the walks. He currently leads the team with 7 walks, which shows his plate discipline. I had a chance to watch his at-bats at Chatham and when they were at home at Guelph, and he was very good at the plate, not trying to do too much in a certain situation, and for his first year in the CBL, I'd say he's doing pretty good. Guys.
Evan, thank you. I'd have to agree with you there. 3 home runs on the season for Trent Lenahan, 7 walks on the campaign as well, so has been a guy that the Majors can count on for some plate discipline in big situations in addition to that power.
Well, and the exact guy that is kind of forming them that mentality that Koehler, general manager Roop Chanderdat, has in this squad, and some of the big messages that he's relayed. One of those being plate discipline, just wanting to get some better at-bats consistently throughout these games. And with how well Trent Lenahan's been doing on the walk front, his plate vision is really, really good, and been a standout player that he's hoping that mentality will start trickling down throughout the rest of this Majors roster.
Lenahan, 11 strikeouts at the plate this season to go along with those 7 walks and the 3 long balls. The Majors as a team do have the 3rd most strikeouts in the Canadian Baseball League, something that Majors manager, co-owner, general manager Roop Chanderdat is trying to limit this year, but hasn't really been a factor. The Majors are batting .308 as a team. That's 2nd best in the CBL, just behind Hamilton. So the offense has been clicking. Lenahan and Escado, who Evan also mentioned, have been big parts of that. So has Jarrett Burney, who steps into the batter's box here for London. Burney went deep twice in Chatham on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's really been putting it together. Some hums and haws early on in a few at-bats before the season really, really got underway. But yeah, wow, he's just been turning it around. For a bit of context, in that matchup against the Barnstormers, for anyone who cares about OPS, which is on-base plus slugging, over 30-50, pretty much. What a crazy number from him to have.
Pitch is off the plate outside. Ball 1 here to Burney. 2 long balls for Bernie the other day, as mentioned, batting in the 7th spot today. That just shows you the depth the Majors have in this lineup as that pitch is taken outside for ball 2.
Again, one of the many fresh faces for the Majors here in 2026. First year in the CBL. 24-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia.
3-0 count here to Bernie. Majors have struggled against Quintana so far in the ball game. It's been 6 up, 6 down for the London offense, yet to generate a base runner.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when this Panthers lineup has been showing some solid flashes. Had a few innings now with base runners, 6 hits already in their 3 innings. Majors would love to just get something going, and a walk to kick things off for Bernie is a good way to do it.
Nowhere close on that pitch from Quintana. Bernie was taking all the way, and the pitch was up and outside. So Bernie takes a base on balls, and Xavier Whittle will step into the batter's box here for London with a runner on base.
And we talked about how good Lenahan is in terms of inducing walks. I would argue Whittle, though, has one of the best plate approaches across this entire Majors squad. Every single one of these at-bats that we've seen from him have really been impressive. Just his discipline, his know-how of the strike zone, his contact abilities have looked really, really sharp so far this year.
Whittle takes ball 1, so it's been 5 straight balls here from Quintana to start this inning. Crowd starting to get on him a little bit. 1-0. No. 2-0. 6 straight balls.
You can definitely see the mentality that Quintana's trying to go for. He's definitely targeting a lot of the outer part of the plate to some of these batters, but a few of these calls just not going his way. Wouldn't be too shocked if he overcorrected a little bit, tried to go a bit inside.
2-0 is right there. Whittle was taking all the way, but the count now 2-1. There is some action in the Kitchener bullpen. We didn't mention it, but there was movement down there last inning when Damian Warner was with us in the broadcast booth. So unsure if that's somebody just kind of getting loose or somebody getting ready in case they need him. Because the action is now stopped down the right field line. Throw over from Quintana. Back there is Bernie safely.
I was going to say, we're seeing a little bit of movement, but no crazy movement over there. No big sense of urgency so far from the Panthers bullpen quite yet, but we'll see how the inning progresses.
The only reason I even mention it right now is because Quintana's longest outing is 4 innings this season. That was his last one, so they might be building him up. That pitch just dodges the outside part of the plate, and it's 3-1 here on Whittle.
Mentioned that plate discipline right from the get-go, especially some of those borderline pitches can be a little bit tough to restrain on, especially ones high in the zone, maybe a little bit away that you can pop over opposite field.
That's there for a strike. Whittle thought it was low for ball 4, but he'll have to step back into the batter's box. I was talking to Roop Chanadad about Xavier Whittle and just what he brings to the lineup, and he said to me, he just makes contact. It doesn't matter who's on the mound, doesn't matter if the pitcher's throwing 90 or if he's throwing 70. Whittle's a guy who can make contact when they do live at-bats during practices. He's always making contact. Running from first is Bernie, pitches inside, so no throw, and Whittle draws a walk. So 2 on here with nobody out to start the inning.
And I will say Whittle is one of the most level-headed guys across the board. Sometimes a little bit monotone, but really, really fun to talk to. He's pretty chipper. One of those guys that doesn't have a lot to say at times, but when he does talk, it has some impact. Really fun guy to talk to in that regard. And it takes quite a lot to ever get him frazzled, and I don't think we've seen it so far in 2026. I don't know when we will, if we will, throughout this season.
Well, David Dreyers will step into the batter's box here for the Majors. Justin, if I know Roop Chanadad and I know Majors baseball, this feels like a perfect situation for a bunt, and that may have had something to do with the mound visit there. Ibarra and Towers, catcher and third baseman, both coming in, perhaps to discuss things. Dreyers, 5 games, batting .250 this season. Corners are in, expecting the bunt. Towers at third, Bruno over at first. First offering with the left-hander. Dreyers squares, gets it down, perfectly placed to third. Towers sets and throws to first. A beautifully executed sacrifice bunt for David Dreyers. The Majors have 2 in scoring position here with 1 away in the inning.
You know, the only word that comes to mind is routine. That was pretty much as clean of a sacrifice bunt that you could really get. Hit it exactly where you needed to pull that third baseman in, try and carry their momentum over towards first. Not a lot you can really do on something like that if you are the defense. Would have been a tight play at second if you tried to get Whittle out there. Good chance of overthrowing it with how your momentum is carrying over towards first. So good effort from him. Got exactly what he wanted on that bunt.
Michael Escato into the batter's box now for London. 0 for 1 of the day. Majors would take a base hit here. He rips this one to right field. Penalve waits back, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Bernie. Here comes the throw. No, he stumbled. They'll go to third with it, and Whittle is in there safely. So it's a sacrifice fly for Michael Escato, and the Majors are on the board. It's a 2-1 game.
A little bit tough on the follow-through for Penalve there. Definitely looked like they were going to be able to hold Whittle at second. Did not show a lot of break over towards third, but as soon as we saw that little bobble in right, not able to keep a hold of it quite cleanly, he darted right for third. Good headspace on him there. Good baseball IQ, paying attention. And the Majors are 90 feet away from tying this ball game.
Trent Lenahan into the batter's box here against Quintana. 2 gone in the inning. Fouls this one straight back, and it's 0-1. Back-to-back sacrifices of different varieties. A sacrifice bunt for Dreyers and then a sacrifice fly for Michael Escato have the Majors back to within a run here against Quintana.
And Trent Lenahan would love to be the guy to push things back in the Majors' favor here.
Hits this one on the ground, off the glove of Quintana. He stumbles. Whittle has to hold. He'll throw to first, and a nice play by Bruno to come off the first base bag and keep that one from getting into trouble.
Tough one there. I will say some good work from Quintana to at least get the ball, keep it in front of him, keep a play active to hold Whittle on over at third. But yeah, you also mentioned there, good job from Bruno. It can sometimes be a little bit daunting to want to move off the bag. You're basically giving up that single. But better to keep it in front of you. If that gets behind you, if you stay on the bag, try and stretch out and it just gets past that glove. Suddenly, what was a single could turn into a double. That's an RBI potential, so a good headspace on him over at first.
So we'll see if they rule that one a single or an error on Quintana. To be honest with you, Justin, I was pretty surprised he threw it to first base. Christian Inoa has a chance to drive home a run in his first game as a Major, takes a strike. It is 0-1.
It's not a word I get to say very often, but it looked like an awkward throw over towards first.
Quintana was falling back, obviously tougher for a lefty who falls just naturally away from first base. 0-1. Fouled off by Inoa, and it's 0-2.
It'd be a great opportunity for Inoa to really make his presence known, especially in the 3 spot for this Majors lineup.
Oh-2 count here, 2 away. Pitch on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Quintana strands Whittle over at third base. Majors leave runners on the corners, but they do get on the scoreboard. A sacrifice fly for Michael Escato has driven home their only run of the ball game so far. It is Kitchener 2, London 1 here on this Friday night at the Forks of the Thames. You're watching London Majors baseball live on Majors TV.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic, but only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Right at the corner of Warncliffe and Emery, Ellie's Pizzeria is your neighborhood spot for real, handcrafted pizza, using locally sourced flour for their dough and fresh ingredients from local farms for incredible flavor in every bite. Stop in before 3 p.m. for a slice and a pop for just $5, or 2 for $9. Ellie's Pizzeria, made local, made right.
Get ready, Chatham-Kent. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham-Kent, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park, kids have run the bases. One of them has earned some queso. Now, Justin, I'm a big fan of queso now. At this stage of my life, I'm a queso guy. I don't know if at the age of 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever age those kids were running the bases, I don't remember if I was a queso guy. Were you a queso guy as a kid?
I was not. For the longest time, I love salsa.
Yeah.
Salsa's always been there.
I've never been a salsa guy. Still am not.
I love a good spicy salsa. But
Really?
I didn't really get into queso. My first job was at a movie theater.
Okay.
So I was just having popcorn all the time to the point where I was
Okay.
like, okay, I'm a little done with popcorn. So
Now-
I moved to like nachos and queso was the detour there.
But to me, that's not queso, what they serve at movie
Oh, no.
theaters, whatever that product is. Like, quesada provides the queso here. That's queso to me because it's got, like, jalapenos in it. It's got, like, little things in there. To me, that's real queso. I don't know if you can call the liquid cheese they serve in the movie theaters queso. I'm not sure, unless they've upgraded it since the last time I went to the movie theaters.
It's the
I haven't been to a
same-
theater since, like, pre-COVID.
Oh.
But
It's the same, but I love it. It's mostly
Right.
just plastic. But there is
but there's something about that plastic, isn't there?
It's just a little kick in there. You know, it's probably not good for my arteries, but oh man, it's good for the soul.
You know what? Maybe as a kid I would have loved some queso. All right, we are back to baseball here, top of the fourth inning, about to get underway. Zane Scansey will lead things off for the Kitchener Panthers, 8, 9, and 1 in their order. Scansey 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch to him is on the outside corner. It's strike one. Keys working quickly, 0-1 on its way. Misses, ball one.
Again, Scansey's first year in the league. First year with the Panthers, first year in the CBL. Still looking to start getting some solid, consistent hits together. A .212 average, 10 strikeouts on the season as well.
1-2 count here on Scansey. Keys looking to put him away and start off the inning with an out. Chopped on the ground at third base. Dreyers charges, makes the play, throws across the diamond, and there's one gone here to begin the top of the fourth inning.
A nice routine play there. I don't know if anyone at home has tried that throw from third, especially on an actual baseball diamond such as this. It makes it look really easy out there. Takes a lot of power, a lot of accuracy as well to make that throw consistently from third to first base. And Dreyers has just done it so much. It's in his repertoire. Absolute fundamental for him. Just making it look way, way too easy.
Charlie Towers into the batter's box here for Kitchener. Takes a ball. It is 1-0. Drives this one to right field, but well foul. And it's 1-1 now.
Good little display of pop there. Just a bit early on it.
The 1-1 on its way. Lined into right field. That's going to get down. And so it's a base hit for Towers, who's aboard for the second time in this ball game.
You know, when your first pitch, you absolutely club, or early, you foul it. Immediately, you're telling yourself, just straighten it out. Just try and get it somewhere in the middle of the field and immediately turn it around. Some good hitting, a good piece of contact there. Great spot. A good way to get a runner on here as things shift back up to the top of the order.
That'll bring up Matteo Zeppieri, the on-base machine. 17 walks now this season after his walk to lead off the ball game. Waves at that one and comes up empty. Zeppieri stole a couple of bases in that first trip to the plate. The only leadoff batter to get on against Travis Keys so far in the ball game has set down the next 3 guys to start innings. I don't think it's coincidence that the one where he allowed the leadoff runner to reach base was the only inning where he's allowed runs.
He's really settled down, really gotten a good pace going.
1-1. Zeppieri thought about it. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire, Justin Van Horn.
And yeah, we've mentioned it before. Back in that first inning, Travis Keys was getting a lot of those pitches a little all over the place. Normally, we've said it before, he's targeting the lower part of the zone. And since that first inning, we've really seen him settle down, sitting around there consistently, throwing the odd pitch up to try and get some swing and miss, try and keep the batter on their toes a little bit.
Speaking of keep people on their toes, a little throw over to first there from Keys, but back with a dive is Towers.
I swear Keys is listening to us at times with how he is. We mentioned those couple strikeouts back in the first, right after we talked about how he gets a lot of soft contact, talk about keeping players on their toes, makes a throw over towards first.
Well, he's got an earpiece, and it's not PitchCom. It's actually listening to us, Justin. That's what it is. 3-1 count here on Zeppieri.
You know, if you're listening to us right now, Keys, get some nice soft contact, ground into a double play here, and we'll believe you.
3-1 misses for ball 4. Second time Zeppieri's walked in the ball game. Michael Escato in shock over at shortstop. That was called a ball. First and second here with one away in the inning, and that will bring up Petey Kiefer, the shortstop, as pitching coach Victor Payano works his way out to the mound.
Again, Keys has done a pretty good effort so far, but what Payano's probably talking about is just, hey, you've gotten a little bit of damage, but you've been giving up a good amount of base runners so far. Just slow the pace of play down. Don't let this momentum start building. If you need to make a couple throws over towards first, do it just to break up these at-bats a little bit. Try and get in I would argue, the batters' heads more than these base runners' heads right now. Sometimes that includes just taking a quick timeout, throwing a pitch a little bit away, just trying to delay this game a little bit as much as possible, just trying to shift momentum back in your favor.
Well, runner in scoring position here for Kitchener, and 2 guys that have some speed on the base pass in Towers and Zeppieri. I'd argue Zeppieri probably has the better speed of the 2, but both guys can run. That one is slashed foul off the bat of Kiefer. 0-1.
Kiefer been pretty dangerous this season. .333 average, OPS over 1,000, 12 RBIs as well.
Zeppieri over at first has 8 steals on the year, 10 now after his 2 in the first inning. Towers yet to register a stolen base this year over at second. 0-1 inside. They'll back pick at second. Tag for Moscato. They got him. Eduardo DeOlio. How about that? He and Escato coordinate and get the lead runner on a back pick at second.
What a heads-up play. You know, I would say it almost caught us a little off guard up here in the booth. What a great play. Great heads-up. We've said it time and time again. Eduardo DeOlio has one of the best baseball IQs in this league. Always paying attention. If he sees that runner just a little bit off the second base bag, he'll capitalize when he can.
So great work by Escato and DeOlio there. The 1-1 outside corner called strike 2. That completely changes the complexion of this inning, Justin. Now there's 2 outs, just a runner over at first base, and now a real chance for Keys to get out of this inning unscathed. 1-2 to Kiefer. Pitch on its way. Zeppieri running. Doesn't matter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. DeOlio will complete the putout with the throw to first, and that'll end the top of the 4th inning. So a heads-up play from DeOlio, and Escato and Keys finishes the job to keep the Panthers at bay in the top of the 4th.
You mentioned it there. One play can completely change the dynamic in an inning. And it went from, oh no, is there going to be some damage done? Or are the Panthers going to widen this league to, oh, Travis can get out of this. They can get out of this pretty quick. Just one out remaining, few different options. And yeah, it felt like the blink of an eye. Things really shifted from the Panthers to the Majors pretty quick in that inning.
Absolutely, Justin. We'll see what the Majors have in store at the plate here in the bottom of the fourth inning against a new arm for the Kitchener Panthers. A right-hander taking over. We'll get you exactly who that is here in a moment. But mention the action in the Kitchener bullpen throughout the last couple of innings, and they go to the bullpen here in the bottom of the fourth. So the day is done for Samuel Quintana through just around 40 pitches through 3 innings of work, allowing the 1 run, that coming on the Michael Escato sacrifice fly in the home half of the 3rd inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Majors order coming up this inning, led off by Eduardo Diolio. So now into the ball game is Elian Serrato for the Kitchener Panthers. Justin Serrata taking over for Quintana, who had a strong outing to kick off this one for Kitchener.
Pretty solid to say the least, and you know that's exactly what he was going for. We were talking about how he's been hit around a little bit at times, some inconsistencies so far in the season, but when you're able to limit this Majors roster to just 1 hit, 1 run, it's a pretty good outing to say the least.
Well, Elian Serrata has pitched in 12 innings so far this season, has appeared in 4 games, 1 of them a start. Has been a struggle at times for Serrata this year. 12 earned runs in those 12 innings pitched and a 2.17 whip this season. Facing the heart of the Majors order, trying to maintain his team's 1-run advantage heading into the 5th.
Yeah, allowed 12 singles so far. A pitcher who will definitely pound the strike zone. 93 strikes across his outing so far.
Certainly has the velocity as he just displayed there against Diolio. 1-0. That's there for a strike. It's 1-1.
He's given up 3 long balls so far in this short start to the 2026 season.
1-1 inside. Diolio has to dodge this one as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. Serrata threw a third of an inning against the Majors back on May 21st. Walked 2, struck out 1, allowed a hit across 4 batters faced. Has allowed at least 5 runs in each of his last 2 outings. 5 against Barrie, 7 against Hamilton. Takes that one up and in. So Diolio doesn't appear to be thrilled in the batter's box. They're working him inside. And Serrata's got some velo that makes you back up.
Yeah, had a really good start to the season in his first 2 appearances. Didn't give up a single run, but it wasn't until they started stretching him out a little bit. His 3rd outing against Barrie went 4 2/3. His 4th outing against the Cardinals went 5 innings. That's when he started giving up a few runs. 7 earned runs against the Cardinals, 5 earned runs against the Baycats. So looking for that consistency he had back to kick off this season.
The 3-2 on its way, chopped back up the middle, over the head of Serrata into center field. So Eduardo Diolio works a full count and earns himself a base hit. So the Majors have a runner on here with nobody out in the 4th.
You know, this is Eddie's inning so far. Really wrapped up the top of the 4th with a great play, kicking off the bottom of the 4th now with a nice single right up the middle.
Thank you so much, Eric. You did an awesome job.
Starling Joseph into the batter's box now for London, with a runner over at first and nobody away in the inning. Joseph 0 for 1 on the day for the Majors.
Hard to deny that Labatt Memorial Park gets loudest at this time of the game. When you have Eduardo Diolio and Starling Joseph back-to-back, some fan favorites, hard not to get a little bit loud here in London, Ontario.
Joseph backs away from that one. It's 1-0. Serrata making a concerted effort here to not let these Majors power hitters get their arms extended. Joseph late on that fastball. 1-1.
Joseph was part of the All-CBL team, or I guess the All-IBL team at the time back in 2023. A one-time All-Star in 2024. So some good pedigree with this Majors club.
Takes that one low and away. Did not play anywhere last season. So finding his footing again here in the CBL this year. Batting .280 thereabouts this season. Yet to register a home run in the 2026 campaign. Still looking for his first. And I think we will see Starling go deep at some point, but that will come with time as he gets settled back in to the CBL. 2-2 count on him here. Eduardo Diolio standing over at first base. Offering on its way. Called strike three. Joseph gets rung up looking, and there's one away here in the fourth.
A tough one there. I know probably one of the key messages to Joseph so far in the season from Koehler general manager Rup Chandradad has been centered around the strikeout side of the game. It can work when you're able to generate that power. You're still getting a good amount of walks here and there, but the strikeouts looking have been a bit of a tough spot for him so far this year. Obviously still showing off that contact, the .286 average, but just not the at-bat for Starling Joseph.
Tucker Zadunik into the batter's box, takes a strike there. It's 0-1. On its way. On the ground. Towards the first base line. It is foul. Tucker Zadunik was adamant that it hit off of him. Rup Chandradad as well on that Majors bench. They did not call it a foul ball until it rolled into foul territory, though. You could hear somebody yelling right away, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, and that was Rup Chandradad on the bench.
Can always tell Rup's not happy when he turns back around. You can see him still talking on his way back to the dugout.
0-2 count here on Zadunik. Pitch from Serrata. Fastball up, exactly where Ibarra wanted it, but Zadunik doesn't chase, so it's 1-2.
Zadunik in a bit of a different spot in the lineup today. We've usually been seeing him around the 3-4 spot, down in the 6 spot today. He's had just one hit in his past 3 games so far after getting off to a pretty hot start. Quite a lot of power early on in the 2026 campaign for him.
1-2. Hit hard to right field. That's going to get down. It's a base hit. So Tucker Zadunik reaches base, and it's first and second with one out here in the fourth.
Again, sometimes it doesn't take anything too crazy. Just a nice hit touching the outfield grass between left and center, or right and center, excuse me, and that's all it can take. And suddenly the Majors have the tying run in scoring position.
Well, Jarrett Burney will step into the batter's box here for London. He was the first base runner for the Majors in the ball game. Worked a walk back in the third and then came around to score on a Michael Escato sacrifice fly. He's got a chance to drive home a run here in this second trip to the plate.
You know, this bottom of the order can get pretty crafty. When you've got Burney, Whittle, and Dreyers back-to-back, a lot can happen.
Flared into right. That one's going to get down. Diolio getting the wave around third. Here's the throw from Penalve. It'll go into third base. It's an RBI single for Jarrett Burney. Finds a hole, ties the game. It's 2-2 here at Labatt Park.
You know, I was just saying anything can happen with the bottom of the lineup here. Obviously some great contact skills, some great plate discipline. But you got to show off the hits when you can, too, for Burney.
Burney flared that one to right. A seeing eye single that gets the Majors back on equal footing here. 2-2 games. Zadunik makes his way all the way to third on that base hit. And Xavier Whittle will step into the batter's box now. He is also without an at-bat in this ballgame. Walked back-to-back with Burney back in the third. Healthy lead for Burney at first, not running. Eliot Serrata throws a strike in the inside corner.
Burney definitely amongst some of the faster players on this Majors crew. I wouldn't be too shocked for him to either be eyeing up a hit and run, try and force a play over at second to let Zadunik find his way home.
Now running here, Whittle waves at it, comes up empty, and it's 0-2. So Serrata in control now. Mentioned the speed of Bernie, has 3 stolen bases this season. 2 shy of the team lead held by Babiak and Escato. Whittle chops that one foul at the plate, stays alive. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Wouldn't be too shocked if we see a few foul offs from Whittle. Might be trying to force something to happen, even if it's a little bit outside of the zone. The runner just 90 feet away.
0-2 off the end of the bat. Tough play on the mound. Zadunik charging for the plate. It's an RBI ground out for Xavier Whittle. He gets Zadunik home, and the Majors are up 3-2.
Great headspace there. Looked like that one was going to be drifting well down out of the zone. But good job by Whittle to at least get some soft contact on it. Anytime that you can put the ball in play, something can happen. It's easy to make a little bit of magic once you get a little bit of contact. Great effort, and the Majors still have 1 runner in scoring position, but take the lead now here in the 4th.
That's a really heads-up play by Tucker Zadunik over at third base as David Dreyers will step into the batter's box. Had a sack bunt in his first trip to the plate. Zadunik did not have to run on that play. Saw that Serrata was having a hard time gaining his footing on the mound, was kind of slipping around as he tried to play that ball, and broke for the plate. Had he not done that, he stays at third, or maybe he waits an extra second and gets caught at the plate, but instead he timed it perfectly and scores the go-ahead run for London. Pitch is upstairs. Ibarra thought about a back pick. 2-0 count on Dreyers. Petey Kiefer snuck in behind Jarrett Burney at second. I think he wanted to throw, but Serrata never clocked that.
I think Burney definitely came out a little bit ahead there. I think if that throw was made, it would have been close, but I do think it could have been in front of him. Kiefer was pretty quiet over there, was able to hustle over to the second base bag. Like we saw, definitely wanted that throw, just didn't come his way.
2-0 count here on Dreyers. Here's the pitch. That's there for a strike, and it is 2-1. Two ball, 1 strike count, offering on its way. Skied in the air, foul territory. That one going to get up and over the grandstand, I should say, a foul ball.
A little bit of everything so far for this Majors squad. They've been benefiting from the walk, some good plate discipline, some solid contact. Has been paying off in their favor, leading 3-2, but the Panthers still out hitting them 7-4, so they're making the most of the opportunities they can get.
2-2 inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes here. So Dreyers works the count full against Serrata. Serrata's thrown 25 pitches so far this inning. Right-hander looks in, comes set. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Serrata gets the strikeout of Dreyers, but not before. The Majors strike for a pair in the 4th and take the lead. It's 3-2 London. You're watching Majors Baseball live on Majors TV.
Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy, starting at just $15.95. Fully customizable with your team's logo, colors, and player details, and double-sided for twice the impact. A custom plate can be attached to the base for personalized engraving on each trophy. Great for player recognition. Ideal for keeper awards, participation trophies, or end-of-season celebrations. Order yours today at Nuthers.com or call 1-800-265-1554.
To be the best, you've got to bring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up. Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Back now inside Labatt Park. Malik Williams steps into the batter's box for the Kitchener Panthers. Majors up by a score of 3-2 here in the top of the 5th inning after getting a couple across the board in the home half of the 4th, doing it with the small ball.
Said it before, that's all it takes sometimes. That's been the mentality for both these teams so far.
Ripped into left center field. Bernie giving chase, and on the run he makes the catch. Nice play there from Jarrett Bernie, making that look a lot easier than it actually was, and there's one gone.
Yeah, you can definitely say that again. I usually, if I'm playing ball, will play center.
Okay.
And sometimes when it lines out like that, it can, when it's coming in so quick, it can have a lot of rotation, so it can start darting in either direction on you sometimes. And being able to hustle in, especially when it's almost drifting away from you like that, is a lot easier said than done, and a really tough play. And speaks to the versatility across the board of Bernie.
Yosvani Penalve will step into the batter's box, squares around a bunt. Cleanup man squaring around a bunt, takes a strike, 0-1. Justin, I did not know you were a center fielder.
That's it. Mostly it comes down to the speed. I'm pretty quick, so I'm pretty good at covering either side. Decent enough at tracking the balls, but that was mostly why I tried out center, was like, I'm quick. I want to be running around. I'll be out in the grass.
You're rangy.
Yeah,
rangy
exactly.
guy. Cover a lot of ground. Good for you. It's an important job. I played center field one time in a game we were winning about 14-1, and it didn't matter as that one's popped into foul territory. Long run for Dreyers. That one's out of play, a foul ball.
I did that once in a game like that, but I instead tried first.
Okay.
And I quickly learned that I do not play first.
Well, similarly to you, I quickly learned I don't play center field. But that season I did manage to play every position, and that was my goal. So I was not known for my speed or my range in my playing days. 1-2 on its way from Keys. Off the plate outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I've done something similar like that in a game where we played a little bit of bingo between the 2 games because I think it was towards the end of the season. We didn't make playoffs, didn't really matter. So across a little bingo card, we had to get a single, a double, a triple, a homer, things like that. But then you had to also have one person pitch who's never pitched before. You had to have someone hit from the opposite side. You had to hit oppo. I, very shockingly, was able to get a double switch hitting in the box on the first go. I tried to do it again in my next at-bat, and it did not go half as well as the first.
Do you think that Roop Chanadot would be up for a little bit of bingo? My guess is probably not, as you see some action in the Majors bullpen. That one sent out to center field by Penalve. Bernie breaks in, makes the catch. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th inning.
Pretty clean so far for Keys. Again, the storyline today has been small ball mentality from both these teams. Nothing hit incredibly hard across the board. And almost a little bit differently than we've seen from Keys. He's getting a little bit more up in the air. A few more flyouts than we're used to instead of more groundouts like some of his previous appearances, but still a good effort from him so far.
Rafael Gross into the batter's box here for Kitchener. 1 for 2 on the day. Miguel Sereno is the arm loosening up for the Majors in the bullpen. First pitch from Keys, a breaking ball. Loops in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
So we'll see if this is the last inning or not for Travis Keys. Good effort from him so far.
Good pitch there from Keys, 0-2. Keys sitting at 83 pitches so far in the ball game through 4 2/3 innings.
A little bit of danger at times on the base paths, but able to limit it fairly well throughout this one.
0-2, did he go? No, says the first base umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. I think the Majors feel a lot of the close calls have gone the other way today, but I certainly agree with that one. That did not appear to be a swing from Gross.
Yeah, Diolio was definitely quick to show his opinions on it, where he thought that was. Almost.
Maybe you can influence the umpire that way, right? That's kind of always the goal when you run away from the plate like that. 1-2 breaking ball, no bite there from Gross on that one either, and it's 2-2. Have you seen, Justin, the check swing challenges that are going on in the minor leagues right now?
I have indeed. I find it incredibly interesting.
Yes.
And again, anything to take human error out of the equation will draw a little bit of controversy here and there. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting system to say the least.
That one sent into center field. It will drop in for a base hit. Nearly 3 plays for Jarrett Burney this inning, but instead it will drop in front of him there off the bat of Gross. And a 2-out base runner for the Kitchener Panthers.
Again, just some solid contact. Been seeing a lot of lift in the ball from these Panthers players so far. But that one leveled out a little bit more than some of the rest that we've seen, so was able to drop just in front of Jarrett Burney. I'm sure he would have loved to have gotten that one, but would have had to have an incredible sprint to even come close to getting that one in center.
Junior Ibarra will step into the batter's box. 2 for 2 in the ball game against Keys. Takes a strike in the inside corner. It's 0-1.
Ibarra's had a really good showing so far. Again, some rougher numbers comparatively to his previous seasons here in 2026, but still incredibly early on. A lot of these numbers are inflated in both directions.
Popped up foul territory. Lenahan has plenty of room, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. And the Majors maintain their 3-2 lead.
Great effort there so far. Again, we'll see if that ends up being Travis Key's last inning or not. Of course, we've seen him go pretty deep in a lot of these games, but it's all very dependent on the pitch count. It looks like he shook hands there with co-owner and general manager Roop Chandradat, so likely for us to say that his outing is done, and a pretty solid effort from him here.
Absolutely. Strong performance for Keys. We'll recap his outing if it is indeed done come the top of the 6th inning. But crucially with that inning, the Majors have now made this game official, and they are leading by a score of 3-2. Now, the reason I say that, we haven't seen much of it tonight, but there has been some rain in the area and some heavier stuff coming down around 10 o'clock tonight. There might be a little drizzle around 9, but at 10 o'clock is when the heavier stuff comes in. So if that moves up at all, well, this game is now official, and the Majors have a 3-2 lead. They'll have to hold on to that, of course, as this game continues, and I'm sure everybody on both sides would just rather play 9 to seal the deal. But just mentioning that fact, because if you look at the radar, it's not exactly promising come later in this ball game.
Well, and it was pretty ominous even before the game got going. We were getting nervous of like, oh, do we need to start prepping for a potential rain delay? What are we going to do?
And there was a drizzle. There was a drizzle here.
But we'll see. I'm in the camp that we've definitely needed the rain. It's been quite the sunny, dry spell, which I love. I love summer. I love the warmer weather. But especially with those clouds coming in, the temperature has already taken a steep drop, which I'm pleased with. It was getting hot and humid up here in the booth. Of course, love seeing the crowd making it out here to these to these Majors games in weather like this.
Too much championship talk for you this week, Justin.
It's been so back and forth. Of course, you would know more than anyone about the Rangers' success. But yeah, I work out in Waterloo, so I've been talking about the Rangers pretty consistently. It's been all in my vocabulary for weeks and weeks and weeks now.
Well, I'll tell you, Justin, I've come very close to calling them the Kitchener Rangers a few times tonight, so I am in the same boat. As the top of the order steps back into the batter's box, Michael Escato will lead things off. 0 for 1, has a sac fly in the ball game and led off the game for the Majors with a fly out to center field. Facing Elian Serrata out for his 2nd inning of work, and hello, that one just misses Escato's head all the way back to the backstop.
Good job on Escato to do a little bit of a matrix move to get out of the way.
Well, we saw a lot of pitches inside last inning from Serrata on Diolio, on Joseph, some of the bigger bats, trying to keep them from getting their arms extended, and certainly did that there on Escato, who waves at that one, comes up empty, and that's one of the things you can do when you brush a guy off the plate is come back with a breaking ball outside, and they're not ready for it.
You know, there's definitely a use and a time and place to do a pitch like that inside, just to back the batter off the plate a little bit so you can then almost get a little bit of few inches on the other side. if they back up a couple steps. It'll appear to the batter in the box that pitch going away is definitely going to go out of the zone, not even close, when it can actually touch the edge of the zone and end up being a called strike.
Escato comes up empty on that one, and it's 2-2. You can see the appeal with Serrata. Has great stuff. Can be a little erratic at times, as we've also seen in this at-bat. The 2 balls have missed significantly, but the 2 strikes have been some really good-looking breaking pitches.
Well, sometimes being unpredictable can be its own skill as a pitcher as well, because if it's tough for the batter to start figuring out where you're going, where your pitches are going to be, if you're going to throw a fastball, an off-speed, a breaking ball, where's it going to be, outside, inside, it gets them on their toes and just makes it a really difficult at-bat.
Well, Escato works a walk, and he will get aboard to lead off the home half of the 5th inning. Here is Trent Lenahan will step into the batter's box.
Good effort. We mentioned how sometimes unpredictability can be a weapon in your arsenal. It can also be a bit of a weapon that can battle against you at times as well. It could be nice to get in these batters' headspaces a little bit, but if you're not able to at least be consistent in your own mind of where you're going with these pitches, that can easily lead to some walks, quite a lot of balls outside the strike zone, and then it just comes down to a patient hitter to then make the most and capitalize off that in these at-bats.
First pitch up and in to Lenahan. It's 1-0. Escato is dancing a little bit over at first base for the Majors. And another example of Serrata pitching inside to a Majors power hitter. Didn't see him do this as much to the bottom part of the lineup, but has certainly crammed some of the Majors' bigger bats on the inside part of the plate. 2-0 count here on Trent Lenahan.
Sometimes that can be really, really good in terms of trying to get some soft contact off the bat. Hard to get the barrel to the ball when sometimes your barrel naturally wants to be a bit more in the middle of the zone, sometimes a little bit outside. It can be hard to pull it in and get solid contact off it, so there is a good plus of trying to pound the inside of the zone.
Fouled off there by Lenahan. Michael Escato was running over at first base, got a great jump. Wonder if that was maybe a hit and run for the Majors, and that's why Lenahan went after it, because had he seen the break that Escato got, maybe he just lets him go.
Would never be too surprised. It's a strategy that the Majors have implemented pretty consistently throughout the season so far, relying on that speed, relying on that baseball IQ, that base running capability that a lot of these players have.
2-1 count. Escato not running. Lenahan comes up empty on the swing. It's 2-2.
You know, with a lot of the pitches that we've been seeing so far on the inner part of the plate, kind of pounding in these right-handed batters, a pitch like that kind of drifts down and away, almost like what you would normally see to a right-handed batter, could almost appear a bit more tempting than it normally would to someone like Trent Lenahan. It's something that you're used to seeing that you can consistently hit and try and hit the other way as well.
Escato running, pitches high, nobody covering second. Ibarra wanted to make the throw, but Escato will swipe second base. Another one where he got a great jump on Serrata.
You know, and that's not the first time in this game that we've seen almost a little bit of miscommunication between the catcher and these middle infielders in terms of whether they're going to try and make the throw towards second to try and get a pickoff, whether they're going to try and get someone who's stealing a base. There's almost a little bit of a misconnect so far that we've been seeing.
3-2, Lenahan reaches for it off the end of the bat. It's a foul ball. And the count will remain full here, with Escato now in scoring position over at second base.
Great battle by Lenahan so far to keep things alive. A lot of times when you're put in a full count situation like this, even though you might be itching for that ball to just get on base, your strike zone can almost widen a little bit just to protect the plate, because the last thing you want to have happen is to just be standing there and have the ball go right by you and head right back to the dugout.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Pitch is in the dirt. Ibarra has to make a throw. It hits the back of Lenahan, and no time called here at the plate. They've called him out. Really? They say that Lenahan got in the throwing lane, and they've called him out. Brian Munt, the home plate umpire. And the Majors can't believe it here. Roop Chandidat is out to argue this call. And Justin, I mean, I'm with Roop on this one, because Lenahan was about as straight shot as he could be down that first baseline.
Yeah, some of the big reliance as a catcher in those instances on a strikeout like that is you have to get the ball, head out in front of the plate so you get a clean throw over towards first. You're never really supposed to try and make that throw from home plate directly because situations like that can happen. And with how right on the line, how direct Trent Lenahan was, I can understand the argument that Roop Chanderdat has because as far as it looked like, Lenahan did what he was supposed to do, which is run straight for the bag.
Well, Majors aren't going to win this argument. Lenahan called out. And so he will head back to the dugout with one out. Just taking a look at it on our screen here, Lenahan is kicking up dirt on the play as he's running, which would indicate he's still well within his lane. But they call him out, Christian Inoa. And now the throw to second goes into center field. Nobody was covering the second base bag, and Escato will move up to third on the throwing error, and now he's going to charge for the plate, and he's safe! Do you believe it? What a sequence! And Michael Escato makes it 4-2 Majors.
Some heads-up base running, and just when there was almost a little bit of tension in this game, Michael Escato making the most of it and shifting things right back over towards the Majors. What a good heads-up play from him.
What a strange last few minutes this has been. Serrata threw it to second, and nobody was covering the base, so he threw it to where the second baseman Scansey was, threw it over his head, and now Inoa gets hit. So Inoa takes that one. He will reach first base to finish that point on the last sequence. Escato saw the throw go into center field, ran to third, and then Rafael Gross never threw it in. So Escato tried to take full advantage, and he scores a run on the play. So we'll see how they score all that. You'd imagine it's an error on the pitcher on the initial throw, but do you call that a stolen base for Escato at the plate? Does he just move up on the same error? We'll see. But Inoa gets hit on the first pitch, and that'll be the end of the outing for Elian Serrata. So an eventful inning in a third for Serrata and the Panthers, and Kitchener will go to the bullpen here. Majors leading 4-2. We will take a quick break, come right back with a new arm and all the information on him. You're watching Majors Baseball live on Majors TV.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Back now at Labatt Park. Get a look at the new arm on the mound. Back to the right-handers for the Kitchener Panthers. It is Brett Reed taking over for Kitchener in this one, appearing in his fourth game of the season. Has put up great numbers so far through his first three.
Brett Reed been with the Panthers for quite a long time, since 2022. The Exeter native had some, like you mentioned, some solid numbers. Good outings from him across the board. Some inflated ERAs for a few different seasons, just a few mixed opportunities for him. 11.50 ERA last season, 10.17 the year before. So he's looking to get things back in his favor, but he's really been off to a good start here in 2026, pitching to a 1.42 ERA in 6 1/3 innings.
Eduardo Diolio will be the man to greet him. First pitch is there for a strike. It's 0-1. Diolio waves at it, sends a cue shot to first base. Bruno is right there. He'll take it to the bag himself, and there's 2 gone now in the bottom of the 5th inning as Inoa makes his way to second.
Reed has pitched in 3 games so far. Didn't give up a run in his first 2. That was against the Bay Cats, and had an appearance versus the Majors as well back on May 28th. But in his last one against the Royals, his longest outing, pitched 3 innings, ended up giving up just 1 hit, 1 long ball as well, struck out 2. So really not a lot of damage done. Some great numbers from him as well. We'll see if he keeps it carrying forward here with 2 outs now, bottom of the 5th.
Starling Joseph into the batter's box for London. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Joseph wanted that one. Reed has thrown multiple innings in 2 of his 3 appearances so far this season. 3 in his last outing against Guelph, 2 1/3 in his first against Barrie. His shortest outing of the year came in that aforementioned game against London that you touched on there, Justin. 0-1. Joseph rips this one, left field, base hit. Inoa gets the wave around third. Here comes the throw from Zeppieri. It's on the money. Ibarra the bobble, but he applies the tag, and Inoa is thrown out at the plate. So a hard single there for Starling Joseph, but the Majors can't push another run across. They do get 1 in the inning, though, and have some insurance. It's 4-2 London through 5 innings of play here at Labatt Park. You're watching the Majors and the Panthers live on Majors TV.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Canada's ball teams deserve uniforms built to win. VMS Sportswear delivers custom jerseys, pants, and caps. Level up your look with custom team apparel. Choose your colors. Drop your logo. Own your look. Order now at vmfsportswear.ca.
To be the best, you've got to ring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up. Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Back now at Labatt Park. New arm into the ball game for the Majors, Justin. It is the right-hander, Miguel Sereno.
Miguel Sereno, the 29-year-old from Puerto Rico. His first season here in the CBL. First time with the Majors with that as well. A bit of an inflated ERA so far. 10.80, just played in 1 game, pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits though, 2 earned runs, a couple walks as well, but racked up 3 strikeouts in that inning. That was against the Guelph Royals back on May 31st. So he'll be looking to improve in his second outing.
He'll be facing a pinch hitter as he aims to do that. Trent Lawson coming into the batter's box for the Panthers. So new arm and a new batter. First pitch from Sereno is in there for a strike.
Trent Lawson, his second season with the Panthers. Added 264 last year, an 860 OPS in that time, 21 RBIs, 7 homers as well. So far here in 2026. Fairly similar, but a little bit better, I would say, than the past season.
On the ground to third, Dreyers makes the stop on the forehand, throws it to first in time. And there's 1 gone.
Good routine play there.
1 away in the top of the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Zane Scansey, the second baseman, into the ball game.
Again, Scansey batting .212 on the season so far. 7 hits in 33 at-bats.
Takes a strike there. It's 0-1 from Sereno.
And when he makes contact, he's been making some pretty solid contact. Of those 7 hits, more than half of them, 4 of them have gone for extra bases. 4 doubles on the season.
Oh, 2 count on him here as he took that one to the outside part of the plate. Sereno into the windup. Here's the pitch. Well outside. 1-2. One-two count, 1 out here in the inning. Sereno getting a new baseball.
Looks like we've started to get a little bit of drizzle here in London as well.
Oh, yes. I see that now on the screen. Can't really tell through the netting back here, but you can definitely see it through our cameras. That one's scorched in the hole. Nice play, Escato on the backhand. Throw to first, stretch from Lenahan. In time to get him. How about the range and the arm from Michael Escato? 1 gone. Here in the 6th.
Great pickup, an off-balance throw right on the money over towards Trent Lenahan at first. Wow. Great one. What athleticism from him there.
That is the 2nd out, I should mention, of this 6th inning, not the first. Great play from Escato in the hole. That'll bring up Charlie Towers to the batter's box now. Takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And that's one of those plays that looks hard and is hard. Very, very difficult to be able to turn that around, get enough power on it, and actually get it to where you want to go, whether that's in the air, a couple bounces on the ground. It's an incredibly difficult play for a shortstop to be able to make. And clearly impressive. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Labatt Park. Got some oohs and ahs from us up here in the booth as well.
0-2 the count here on Towers. Here's the pitch. Rolled over second base. Nice play, Inoa. Throw to first in time. Some great work defensively in this inning, in particular from Michael Escato, and the Majors head to the bottom of the 6th, up by a score of 4-2.
You know, a 5-3 ground out, a 6-3 ground out, a 4-3 ground out. The whole infield was getting involved today, so what a good showing there from them. Obviously, fundamental plays that they practice, and really all came together in that one. Just a good showing there to kick off the 6th.
Really strong defensive play for Michael Escato, battling through the rain. And speaking of people battling through the rain, our very own Evan Fredrickson is down at field level. Evan, I hope you've got your umbrella. What do you got for us?
Well, unfortunately, gentlemen, I am unable to have an umbrella, and I am pretty soaked myself. But I got a story for you guys. The pitching staff for the Majors has been nothing short of effective so far this season. You can use this game as an example. Travis Keys goes out to the mound, gives up 2 runs in the first, but then puts up 4 scoreless innings. That's been the story. As a pitching staff, they've struck out 88 batters. That's not including the batters from today as well. But it begs the question, who has stood up to you guys as the most efficient, starter or reliever? Is it a guy like Victor Payano or Cecilio Pimentel, or is it a guy like Dustin Davidson or Cade Douglas? I'm curious to hear your thoughts, because I'm struggling to just pick one guy, gentlemen.
Yeah, Evan, it's been a real strong performance by the entirety of the Majors pitching staff this season. For me, Victor Payano is always one of the elite arms in the Canadian Baseball League. In terms of efficiency, it might be Travis Keys, but Payano certainly racks up the strikeouts and knows his way around the strike zone, Justin.
You know, I always got to give a few shout-outs to the bullpen as well. Zach Laird has done a great job so far this season. Skylar Janice has done a great job so far as well. Leading in saves, still some great efforts from both of them. But what's interesting to see is just how different all of these pitchers are. There's not a couple that kind of fit the same profile. A lot of them show some pretty drastic differences from one to another, whether that be velocity or delivery. So it's been really interesting to watch the Majors pitching this year.
First pitch to Tucker Zadunik is off the plate outside for ball 1. You can see some fans slowly starting to migrate underneath the grandstand here to get away from the rain.
And it looks like it's already slowed down a little bit. Doesn't look like it's coming down as heavily, quote unquote, I say, because it wasn't really coming down all that heavy.
No, but we are firmly in the system now. So we'll see how the rain evolves throughout this one. That pitch is in there for a strike on Zadunik, and it's 2-1. Reed ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Hit hard towards second base. Play made by Scansey. Throws to first in time. And there's one away.
Routine one there. Good job by Reed to get things back in his control after the Majors racked up a few hits. Got in another run off some tricky base running, to say the least, just in that previous inning. So good job by him to slow things down against the first at-bat he's facing here in the top of the 7th.
Jarrett Burney will step into the batter's box now for the Majors. Burney 1 for 1 on the day. Had an RBI single his last time up. Worked a walk as well on his first trip to the plate. Takes a strike there. It's 0-1.
You know, Burney's really been flashing it across the board. Gotten on by a walk, scored a run, a single in the previous inning.
Line drive left center field. That one's going to get down in front of the left fielder, Zeppieri. It's going to get over his head. Burney charging for second. He will be in there. It's a stand-up double for Jarrett Burney. And the Majors have a runner in scoring position here with 1 out.
I don't think I need to say more because I think he just put it on full display, which is great to see. Just incredibly versatile. We've seen his defense at points in this game, some good contact, some good plate discipline, some good speed, a really good performance, a well-rounded performance, I guess I should say, so far from Jarrett Burney. And already another chance for the Majors to try and add to their lead. Up ahead 4-2 right now. Would love to widen that as the game goes on.
Pinch hitter here for the Majors with the runner in scoring position, and Burney. Jaden Babiuk will step into the batter's box here for London. Babiuk on the season batting .217. Has 5 runs batted in this year.
Some good flashes from him at times this season. Still looking to get some consistency behind his bat. But come in a few key situations already so far for 2026.
Takes a first pitch strike from Reed. All 5 of Babiuk's hits have been singles. A single would likely score the speedy Burney. 0-1. Cue shot foul. 0-2.
Babiuk's best outing so far was arguably back on the 22nd of May. That was against the Guelph Royals. Went 2 for 3. Drove in 3 RBIs. The real difference maker in that one. Stole a base as well.
Oh, 2 count. Here's the pitch. Low. Ball 1.
Another one of those great options that can come off the bench. Obviously, Whittle's been doing really, really well at the plate, but usually the DH for many of these contests, so it gives Rube Chanderdad a few options to mix around on who he wants to bring in, either for some defensive changes if they have the lead, some contact skills depending on who's available, who's nice and rested, so plenty of versatility top to down, on and off the field for the Majors.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Babiuk in the box. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate. Count remains 2-2.
Again, the Majors really making the most of the opportunities that they've had so far, up 4-2 right now, but the Panthers still out hitting them 8-6 with an error on the contest as well.
At one point, the hits were 6-0 for Kitchener in this ball game. 2-2 on its way. Off the plate, 3-2.
Majors really got it going in those middle innings. I was saying that might be the difference maker today, and it kind of has sort of paid true for the Majors. That's why they've gotten all their runs in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th.
Well, is the 3rd a middle inning or is it an early inning?
You
That's
know,
the question. Because you can split it into 3 perfect chunks. On the ground, in the hole. Over to his left, Towers comes up with it, throws to first. It's not in time. Babiuk beats it out. And the Majors have him on the corners here with 1 out.
A good hustle. Sometimes on a hit like that, not too much power. It can be tough to not want to just go full sprint over towards first. Can be very easy to slow down a little bit. But Good base running, good heads up, great speed to hustle that one out over towards first. Keep us at 1 out here. The runner just now 90 feet away from making it a 5-2 ball game.
David Dreyer is into the batter's box now for the Majors. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Babiak not running over at first. First pitch is a ball off the plate outside. With speed at first, speed at third, I wonder if the Majors try to pull off a double steal here. Send Babiak from first and then try to score Bernie on the same play.
Always an interesting play to watch. Lots and lots of fun when teams try and go for a strategy like that.
Panthers thinking along the same lines, and they'll check on Babiak, who's back with a dive. The success rate of that play is not maybe where you'd want it to be. Oftentimes the catcher just won't even throw it. Ibarra certainly one of the better defensive catchers in the CBL behind the plate. Babiak is running, pitch is high. Ibarra throws to second. The tag, it's not in time. Babiak beats it. A stolen base for Babiak there. And there's 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, and the Panthers can't believe the call at second.
You know, there's a chance that Babiak might have been able to dodge the play a little bit, but at least from up here, it looked pretty close. It looked like that was one that could have very easily gone the Panthers' way, but the Majors will take it. Take every opportunity they can get in this one.
Well, that's why they don't let us make those calls from up here. Because I'll tell you, from up here, he looked out. 2-0 count. Dreyers has 2 in scoring position now. The pitch, line straight back towards us. Hits the netting, but I would have had it. 2-1.
Oh, I believe. You were pretty quick to even get that hand raised, you know?
My reaction time is still on point, Justin.
Impeccable reaction time. Diolio, eat your heart out. We got Dylan Baker up here.
2-1 count here, 1 away in the inning. Dreyers in the box, Escato on deck. Dreyers flails at that one, and it's 2-2.
The second time now that we've seen a few tensions flare in this ball game. Still hasn't amounted to much, but an exciting contest nonetheless.
And Dreyers down on strikes, chases a pitch off the plate outside, and so that'll be a pivotal second out of the inning for Kitchener, and bring up Michael Escato with 2 on and now 2 out.
You know, the shift back to the top of the order, it's a good position for the Majors to be in. Obviously, Escato been pretty elite when it comes to getting the bat to the ball, a .442 average. Lots of potential from him here. Obviously, being the leadoff man, doesn't get a lot of RBI opportunities, so could really capitalize here with 2 runners in scoring position.
Escato did drive home a run on a sacrifice fly earlier in the ball game. 0 for 1 on the evening. Takes that one outside. Worked a walk in his last plate appearance. That was against Serrata. Benefit the Majors have here is if the ball gets into the outfield, the runners are off on contact, so in theory, both would score, and good speed in both Bernie and Babiak. 1-0. Off the plate outside, 2-0.
You know, with Escato's hitting capabilities, obviously we've mentioned it in the broadcast so far, but that's also something that will likely have been relayed to the pitcher, Reed. We might see a lot of these pitches lean towards the outer part of the plate. Might not be too afraid to try and move the pitches around on him with first base open. Obviously a walk will not jeopardize too much here.
2-0 there for a strike. 2-1 now the count on Escato. Base is open at first, but you're only getting into a tougher part of the Majors lineup as you work along here. Lenahan on deck and Noah after him. Reed steps off here. Two-one count, the offering on its way. Escato takes low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I don't know if that bat even came off his shoulder there. Looked like he was taking that pretty well.
Three-one count. Crowd getting on Reed here. The pitch. Ripped by Escato down the left field line. Fair ball. In comes Bernie. Babiak right behind him. Escato a hard turn, will stay at first. It's a 2-run single for Michael Escato. His second and third runs batted into the game, and the Majors are up 6-2.
You know, Dylan, you said it wouldn't take a whole lot to get those runners in. A timely hit, nothing too hard, but just the right spot in the outfield to get those in. Great contact, great at-bat, and a great effort there for Michael Escato.
Trent Lenahan into the batter's box now for the Majors. Takes high, ball one. Lenahan 1 for 3 in the ball game. Quick throw over to first base. Escato back standing. Escato is a threat to run.
I think the Majors have kind of addressed a couple concerns that even we relayed a little bit early on, and that was sometimes hitting dry spells in the middle of the game.
Escato, a great jump. Lenahan puts a charge into this one. Left center field working back, and that ball is out of here. Trent Lenahan breaks this one wide open. Majors are up 8-2.
An absolute hot shot over to left center, no doubt about it. Some great lift, some great power, and a great opportunity to start blowing this one open in the Majors' favor.
Lenahan's fourth long ball of the season, first at Labatt Park. And the Majors are up by 6 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Panthers just now getting some action going in their bullpen, so Reed will have this inning to finish. Christian Anoa into the batter's box for London. Still looking for his first hit as a Major, first hit in the CBL. That's there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Looks like Ben Hewitt starting to warm up over on the Panthers side.
Pitch to Anoa in the dirt, ball one.
You know, I was just saying those couple concerns that they addressed, which was hitting in the middle of the game, those middle innings, and hitting with runners in scoring position. The Majors have really been capitalizing on it so far. An 8-2 lead, but just one hit over the Panthers so far. Just a great effort all around and really capitalizing when they can.
Anoa early on this one fouls it off, and it's 1-2 here on the Majors' second baseman.
Definitely looked like Anoa was trying to make it back-to-back here. Good swing, good follow-through on his swing, but just a little bit early on it.
1-2 home. Hit hard in the hole, base hit. Christian Anoa has his first hit in the Canadian Baseball League, and the Majors just keep on chugging here in this sixth inning.
What a job so far, not just hitting at the timely parts of the game, but really just going man to man to man, believing in the guy that's right behind you, not trying to do too much. Of course, I would say arguably, apart from Lenahan, who really just turned on one. But a great effort across the board to just believe in who's next, believing in that system and the versatility of player to player to player, all the way top to bottom in this lineup.
Well, a mound visit here for Reed. No pitching change here. It was funny, just the timing of that. They get a mound visit, Reed, who's been struggling in the inning, and then we cut to the bullpen, and the ball is in fair territory because it's gotten past the catcher and rolled all the way down the line. But Hewitt continues to loosen in that Kitchener bullpen as DiOlio steps into the batter's box here. Majors already up by 6 in the ball game.
I can guarantee you this whole Majors lineup is going to want to try and get a hit here.
DiOlio sends this one high in the air, not overly deep. Zeppieri coming in, Towers going out. It's Zeppieri, the left fielder, who comes up with it, makes the grab to end the inning, but not before. The Majors get 4 in the frame, extend the lead to 8-2 thanks to Trent Lanahan's 4th home run of the season. You're watching London Majors Baseball live on Majors TV.
We got this, united, step it up, keep on thriving, we trying, keep shining, living in a world where we...
When we're together, amazing things happen. Feel what it means to be greater together. Make a bold statement with the Champ Chain, the ultimate award for champions. At 5 to 6 inches wide, this eye-catching metal is built to impress, fully customized with your logo and cut to shape. From the court to the boardroom, this award brings energy and attitude to every celebration. Great for recognizing your MVPs, players of the game, or hardest worker. Level up your recognition game with the Champ Chain. Order yours today at nuthers.com or call 1-800-265-1554.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Kent, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Back now inside Labatt Park. Get a look at the line score there. The Majors into double digits in the hit column with 10 in the ball game. And none bigger than Trent Lanahan's 2-run home run in the home half of the 6th inning, Justin.
Hot shot, no doubter. Really got everyone here at Labatt Memorial Park up on their feet. Again, I love a good pitcher's duel, low scoring efforts, but it's hard to knock a good offensive game. Arguably, it's been a great offensive game from both sides. 18 total hits in this one between the two, but the Majors have just done a great job of capitalizing when they can. Doing everything they can to try and blow it open here as we start pushing into the later innings.
And the rain has stopped. That's a good sign for finishing this ball game as Matteo Zeppieri will lead off this inning for Kitchener. That pitch misses. Zeppieri came into the ball game with 16 walks in the season, 9 more than the next closest guy. He's got 2 more in the game today. Hits this one on the ground to second base. It's Inoa there, a slight bobble, throws to first, has to hurry, but records the out, and there's one gone here in the top of the 7th.
And just to speak on Zeppieri, we've talked about how good he is at getting on base via the walk. It still almost feels like we are underselling how impressive that is to have just as many walks as he has collected in the season so far. It's beyond impressive, especially the disparity between him and the next closest guy. You don't see it that far apart very often. And then, yeah, like you said, already added a couple in this game so far.
Petey Kiefer into the batter's box, 0 for 3 on the evening. Comes up empty on that pitch. 0-1, 0-2 now. A couple of swings and misses.
Kiefer's second year with the Panthers. Last year did pretty well, 370 average. Good numbers for him across the board, and been carrying it over almost pretty evenly here into 2026, a 333 average. A 571 slugging, so a couple long balls for him, 12 RBIs as well, so a lot of potential in his bat.
1-2 count here on Kiefer. Sereno working quickly. That one rolled over to second base again. Another chance for Inoa. Gobbles this one up, throws to first in time again. So a couple of outs recorded by the Majors' second baseman. And there's 2 away in the top of the 7th inning.
Good job by Inoa so far. I know those look like routine plays, but that last one in particular, it almost looked like it took a funny hop right up to him. Looked like he didn't get it cleanly in his glove. Almost looked like it might have hit off his chest a little bit, but was able to keep it together, keep it composed, make the throw towards first, and make it look pretty routine at the very least.
Malik Williams into the batter's box here for the Panthers. flails at that one, fouls it off, and it's 0-1.
Again, we've mentioned the weather at times. We saw a little bit of drizzle early on, but it still looks pretty ominous here in London, Ontario. Some dark clouds, some dark skies. Could probably turn around pretty quick if the weather wanted to, if Mother Nature decided she didn't like baseball today, but we're holding out pretty well so far.
0-1 into right field. That one's going to get down. It's a base hit for Williams, his second hit of the ball game, and Kitchener's got a 2-out base runner here in the 7th.
Sometimes it can appear to be a pretty daunting task at times when you're down 8-2, getting to the later stages of the game, but that is how you start trying to chip away here and there. It just takes consistent at-bats, going man-to-man, getting as many people on base as you can to start trying to trickle in those runs here and there. At the end of the day, they still have 3 innings of opportunity to try and chip away. So good on them to stay in, and a good at-bat from Malik Williams.
Yosvani Penalve looking to follow that up with some offensive success as well. Takes a strike, though, on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on its way. Misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Some good contact skills from Penalve so far. A singles machine pretty well.
Hits this one hard to first. Eats up Lenahan. Comes to Anoa. Nice play. How about that? 3-4-3 to end the inning. Anoa gets in on all 3 outs. The Majors maintain their 8-2 lead.
Good heads up there. Good job by Lenahan to at least try and keep that in front of him, even if he wasn't able to come up with it cleanly. And a great job again by Anoa to just keep his head in the game. When that ball's rolling over, a little grounder over towards first base, it can be very easy to just kind of turn that off in your head, what's going on.
Well, we've got, sorry to interrupt, Justin, we've got a very interesting look here on screen. A camera worn by Eduardo Deolio in the ball game today. This is one of the more unique perspectives you're going to get of the game. Travis Keys working on the mound. This is the strikeout of Petey Kiefer back in the first inning. A really cool look here for our Majors TV crew with the perspective from Deolio as the different hitters come into the batter's box. And if you've never played catcher before, this is what it looks like. And that's what catching a Travis Keys fastball looks like. This is a phenomenal look.
Yeah, take a look at some of the breaking pitches if you can, if we get a few, just to see how it'll start in the zone, then drift, usually down and away, down and in, depending on where Travis is feeling. It's really deceiving at times, especially when you have to have pretty quick reaction time, pretty quick turn of the bat. It'll look like, oh, that's going to be a fastball, and then no, it's a slider off, away at the plate. So some really tough at-bats. Again, shows a lot of the skill and finesse that Travis Keys has in his arsenal.
I was listening to something the other day, Justin. I think they mentioned you've got like 0.125 seconds to react to a pitch as a hitter. And right there you see why just the movement on the offerings from Keys. Really cool look from our crew here at Majors TV at just what Eduardo Deolio is seeing back there on our catcher cam. And I hope we can bring that back down the road. New arm into the ball game here for the Kitchener Panthers, Justin. It is the same arm that was loosening up in the bullpen. It is Ben Hewitt into the ball game.
So again, carrying it forward, it'll be the 4th pitcher now, for the Panthers. And Ben Hewitt, so far this season, a little bit of an inflated ERA, a 7.50 earned run average, popped up in 3 games, started 1 as well, so 6 total innings. Across the 2026 season so far, he's struck out 7, walked 4, given up 8 hits and 5 earned runs as well. This will be the second time that the Majors will have seen him. He pitched back on the 28th as well, pitched 2 innings. Majors were able to get a couple hits, but not able to drive anyone in that outing.
0-2 count here on Starling Joseph, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Hewitt certainly not lacking height out there on the mound. One of the taller arms in the CBL as this one gets fouled back by Joseph. He, along with Quintana, who the Majors saw earlier in the ball game. Couple of tall arms and clearly a point of emphasis for the Panthers.
You know, it kind of leans into that intimidation factor a little bit. For the Majors' perspective, Victor Payano kind of comes to mind in that case.
Hit hard on the ground. That one gets a piece of Hewitt. Joseph trying to beat it out. There will be no throw. So a hard hit ball off the bat of Starling Joseph that gets off the leg of Hewitt. He's given the thumbs up to the dugout, says he's all right. So that's a good sign. And Joseph is aboard to lead off the 7th.
Some good contact from Joseph, but a good job from Hewitt as well to wear one like that. Never too fun. Kind of get the awful mix of being caught in the surprise, having one come right at you. Sometimes it can knock the wind out of you, even if it doesn't hit you in the chest or anything like that. And looks like we're going to have some of the training staff come out just to make sure that he's okay.
Yeah, just a little check here on Hewitt. Pinch runner as well for Starling Joseph over at first base. We'll try to get you who that is in just a moment. That is Ryder Hancock taking over at first for Joseph. You can expect that Hancock will likely slot into left field, perhaps center, when the Majors take the field once again defensively as Tucker Zadunik steps into the batter's box here for London. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1.
So we mentioned Hewitt's earned run average, 750 so far, but a lot of that is due to just one game. His first 2 outings didn't allow a single run, a 0 on the ERA on the run total, but it was that last game against the Cardinals.
Running is Hancock. Throw to second in time. They've caught him stealing, so a called strike, and then they throw out Hancock trying to swipe second base.
You know, it's a part of the game where the Majors can start almost playing a little bit aggressively as well. They don't need to be holding back quite as much. Obviously, the lead now 8-2, a 6-run lead for the Majors. They can start mixing things around a tad bit. Obviously, you don't want to get too comfortable out there, but you can be a little bit aggressive, try a few plays here and there. It's just not everyone will pay off.
That one hit hard, but foul by Zadunik, 1-2. So Hancock caught stealing. Nobody on now, 1 out for Zadunik.
So I was mentioning that last outing for Hewitt. He ended up lasting 3 innings against the Hamilton Cardinals, but gave up 5 hits, 5 earned runs, and a couple walks in that outing. So in that one outing, attributed him to a 15 ERA. So obviously that's the big driving factor that's led to that almost inflated total for him. Again, that's going to happen for a lot of these pitchers, some of these batters as well in the early goings until they just get more outings under their belt.
Cut on and miss there by Zadunik, strike 3. So Hewitt gets the caught stealing and then sets down Zadunik for the second out of the 7th inning.
Tough one there. Hewitt starting to sink in a little bit. His second strikeout since he's come on board here. Just wanting to limit things as much as possible, give the Panthers a chance to try and come back in this one, even though they're down 8-2. They're going to be trying to tack on some runs where they can, but all of that starts with limiting the Majors as much as you can offensively. You want to keep the score exactly where it is as much as possible. Limit those hits. Try not to let any more momentum shift back in London's favor.
Jarrett Burney in the batter's box, 1-1 count here on him. That one's there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Again, we've mentioned just how involved Burney has been in this game so far. He's walked, he's singled, he's doubled, had some good speed, some good defense as well.
That one's off the plate outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Burney. Perfect 2 for 2 at the plate today after he hit 2 home runs in Chatham on Tuesday. Everything's coming up Jarrett Burney at the plate right now. Hello. Swings and misses for strike 3 there, though, and that will end the inning here in the home half of the 7th. Majors still up by a score of 8-2 here through 7 innings of play. We head to the top of the 8th at Labatt Park. You're watching the Majors and Panthers live on Majors TV.
Canada's ball teams deserve uniforms built to win. VMS Sportswear delivers custom jerseys, pants, and caps. Level up your look with custom team apparel. Choose Choose your colors. Drop your logo. Own your look. Order now at bmfsportswear.ca.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed on every level of the home.
Install working CO alarms today.
It's the law.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park. New arm into the ball game. It's a lefty. It's Zach Laird.
Good consistent arm so far for the Majors. We mentioned how much I like his delivery. He's described it as a slingshot delivery. Really, really fun to see. So far in the season, though, he's appeared in 4 games, an ERA of 9, 7 total innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 12 strikeouts for him, though.
All 7 of those earned runs came in the last outing, if I'm not mistaken, Justin.
You are indeed correct. Yeah, it was his longest outing. Ended up being in the game for 3 total innings. Yeah, that's where he gave up those 5 hits, 7 total runs. So everyone who was able to get on base on him was able to come around. So he'd love to slow things down. His first 3 appearances, yeah, didn't give up a whole lot. 3 total hits amongst those first 3 appearances. That was against the Baycats, the Royals, and the Leafs as well.
Rafael Gross will be the first batter to greet Laird here. Gross is 2 for 3 on the day. Sends this one high in the air, hit hard to center field. Bernie tracking back, and he's got it. 1 away.
Good read from Bernie out in center. A good first step as well.
Reminiscent of Justin Koehler out there.
I don't know if I'd go that far, you know. Not going to sell myself short. I'm pretty good out there. But, you know, I don't think I'm anything close to Jarrett Bernie when it comes to outfield defense.
Great range there from Bernie on full display on that play. Junior Ibarra will step into the batter's box here for the Panthers. Also 2 for 3 coming into this at-bat.
For those paying attention across the CBL, a couple other games on the go tonight. Hamilton leading 16-0 against the Toronto Maple Leafs right now in the top of the 7th.
Well, we had somebody in our chat come in about the second inning of our game and say, I'm flipping over to this game because it's not competitive in the Toronto-Hamilton game. That one hit hard up the middle, a base hit there for Ibarra. Continues his great night. 3 for 4 now. And clearly that game has gone from bad to worse for the Maple Leafs and from good to great for the Hamilton Cardinals. Oh, 2 really uncompetitive games. Justin, fill us in on the other one.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's kind of a day of hitting. You know, we thought this was a high-scoring one for the Majors, 8-2. Obviously, we just mentioned the Cardinals, 16-0 over Toronto. The Baycats are also leading the Red Sox. Brantford, 11-2. They're also in the top of the 7th, so quite a lot of hits, quite a lot of runs. So, yeah, crazy night across the CBL.
Well, it is getting crazier here at Labatt Park because it is pouring now. We mentioned earlier you can't really see the rain through the netting, but when it's really coming down, you absolutely can. And right now it is really coming down as Laird floats in a breaking ball. It's 0-2 here on Trent Lawson.
You know, I was the in-game broadcast host here for the Majors the past few seasons. One of those opportunities right now where I'm very happy to be up in the box, not having to walk around in the rain.
1-2 here. Now, our boss, Matt Hiscock, sent a message to the group today and said, hey, guys, dress accordingly for the weather. There might be some rain tonight. Now, I didn't see that message until about 6:45 p.m. when I was in the press box, so I did not bring a jacket, nor did I bring an umbrella. That pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
You know, I thought he was going to be talking about the heat because I think it was supposed to be like a high of 30, humidex of 33 today. I didn't even account for the rain at all. So that just was not on my personal radar. Even though I talk about the weather every single day.
2-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Lawson in the dirt. 3-2. We've seen Laird go to the rosin bag a few times, just trying to keep those hands dry in the midst of all this rain.
Might be a tough one for him. Obviously, in conditions like this, the balls can become a little bit slippery, so it's very easy to accidentally release a little bit early, have that ball slip out of your hand. So you can definitely see Laird turning to the rosin bag and almost overcorrecting in a way. We've seen a couple of those pitches right down in the dirt, wanting to make sure that it doesn't release too early. You're getting a good grip on it, but with that, he's just releasing it a little late to compensate.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So good work from Laird there to get the strikeout for the second out of the top of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Zane Scansey, who is 0-for-3 on the night. The rain has calmed down just a little bit here. Still coming down, but a little bit slower perhaps. We're in the system now, right? I mean, it's just going to keep going until about 2 in the morning here in London. So I don't see this subsiding. Maybe slowing a little bit, but
might be a very on and off kind of night for the rest of us here in London, Ontario. Looks like a lot of people in attendance were prepared, though. There was a good amount of umbrellas.
That must
here.
be nice.
Yeah, what's that like?
That pitch misses inside. 2-0 here to Scansey. That's slowing down a little bit more, so maybe you'll venture out and call the 9th inning from the bleachers, Justin.
Oh, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't think the cables are long enough. What a shame. I guess I'll have to stay up here.
There's a strike, 2-1. Well, Evan doesn't need his mic until the post-game interview, so in theory, you could just share it and go out there.
That is fair. That would be interesting at some point this season.
I would love to do a game from center field just one time. Just one time out in center field. 2-1, swing and a miss. 2-2. I think we got the mics to do it.
I think so. I think it would just look like those two from the Muppets. I think that is all we would look like out in center field if we were sitting out there calling the game.
What are their names? The two that are, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know.
If there's anyone watching the game on Majors TV right now and would love to fill us in on some Muppets lore and some insights that we're clearly missing out on.
Fouled off a Diolio there. He's a little bit shaken up. He'll try to reset. I feel like one starts with a W.
Now, the Muppets are not on the Majors roster, so they're not stats that I've gone through and checked in on.
Stadler and Waldorf.
There we go.
There we go. I knew one started with a W. 2-2 count here to Scansey. 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Inside, that one gets a piece of Diolio as it bounces in at the plate. Ibarra will move up to second base. So back-to-back pitches that take a chunk out of the Majors catcher, and Kitchener has a runner in scoring position.
That one looked like it might have gotten a piece of a couple there. It almost looked like it kind of hit the dirt and then hit off Scansey and then hit off Diolio and then went off. It's going to be tough, obviously, battling the weather up. With it slowing down, though, those rosin bags might be a little bit more helpful now.
3-2 sails on Laird, and so Scansey will reach for the walk, and Charlie Towers will step into the batter's box here. 2 out in the 8th inning. Rain continuing to fall at Labatt Park as Eduardo Diolio will go out to just try to settle his pitcher, I think, right now. Justin Laird, I'm sure, frustrated with how wet the baseball is at the moment.
It's tough to predict when the weather is fighting against you at times, and it can be pretty frustrating as well. Zach Laird, I would argue, is one of the more passionate players on this Majors roster. You always see him getting heavily involved, not just physically in the game, but mentally as well. He's very much involved in all these games and every single one of his outings. I love the passion from him, but it means that if there's something like some weather getting in the way, some unforeseen consequences of that, it can sometimes put you a little bit off your delivery, a little bit off your throws, and have a bit of an impact there. So that's probably exactly the message that Diolio was wanting to relay out. It's just, hey, just slow it down. Take the game as you want it. You're in control of the situation right now.
First pitch strike to Charlie Towers. Second pitch fouled off, so he's ahead 0-2 here. Laird on the rubber. Goes to the rosin bag, does a lap, trying to reset here before the 0-2 pitch. 2 on, 2 out in the 8th inning. Charlie Towers in the batter's box. Offering the left-hander on its way. Breaking ball sails high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Can tell Laird really wanted that one to just drop in. Can see him almost still motioning to himself, almost can see him mouthing a few things out on the pitcher's mound there. This didn't go his way, but the count still in his favor.
1-2 in the air down the line in left field, slicing, and it's going to be well foul. So we'll try it again on 1 ball and 2 strikes. Long run for Ryder Hancock there.
Again, though, some good at-bats from the Panthers lineup. They've been doing pretty well of getting on base. Again, they're down 8-2 to the Majors, but the Majors are just out-hitting them by a single hit, 11-10. So the Majors have just done a better job on capitalizing with runners in scoring position. Panthers just looking to get a bit of momentum in their favor. Haven't collected runs since the 1st inning.
That pitch misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the rain has slowed, but it's definitely still coming down here at Labatt Park.
2-2, 2 out the pitch. Sails high, no swing. Count runs full now at 3-2.
Been a very, very good battle so far by Charlie Towers. Good effort from him. Forcing the count back in his favor into full.
Full count, 2 out, 2 on here for the Panthers. The payoff pitch from Laird as the runners take off. Just misses. Ball 4. So that's back-to-back walks for Zach Laird on the mound, and that loads the bases for Matteo Zeppieri. And all of a sudden, a little bit of unsettling here at the at Labatt Park.
A little bit risky here. If you're the Panthers, this is exactly what you have to be doing, is just trying to get the next guy behind you up to the plate, trying to get some consistent hits, some good plate discipline to even just get some walks when you can. Get as many people on, give yourself as many opportunities as possible to start trying to chip away at this 8-2 lead for the Majors.
Zeppieri takes a first pitch strike here. It's 0-1. Zeppieri 0 for 2 has walked twice in the ball game as well. Grounded out hard to second base in his last trip. That one's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Really the first trouble the Majors have encountered since the 1st inning. Hasn't been much else going on. Some stellar defensive plays. You can see Laird getting frustrated on the mound. I think he's having a really hard time planting right now just because of how wet it is out there. He kind of looked at his cleat. And I don't know if Labatt Park has any of those cleat scrapers you'll see on a big league mound where they can kind of knock the dirt off. There you see the shortstop, Escato, try to help his pitcher out and just knock off some of the dirt. This is camaraderie here, folks. This is what it's all about. Escato, who was cleaning out Starling Joseph's eye earlier in the ball game.
What a helpful guy, contributing every way that he can in this ball game. Yeah, in terms of the cleats, you got to think of it almost like a winter tire in a way. If those gaps start really filling up with snow, it's going to be hard to actually get any consistent traction when you're out on the road.
What a look at this scrape.
Look
That's
at
a doorstop.
That right foot compared to his left right now.
Oh, man. Wow. Let's break this down, Justin. What a scrape this is. You can see why he needed it, right? Because it gets all muddy. And like you mentioned, it's just like a winter tire. It's harder to plant. It's harder to land. You kind of slip and you slide when your cleats are that muddy. And the mud just sticks, right? If it's just dry dirt, it's not going to stick anywhere. But the mud will just stick right to it.
It is tough to walk in a straight line when your foot is a little bumpy. If you've got gum on your shoe, if you had a bit more unfortunate of a situation, that can also cause it. So if it's hard when you're walking, it's incredibly difficult on the mound when you rely on getting that foot planted.
1-1 in the dirt. Deolio, a big block there. He has been beat up this inning. A block that caught him up high, a foul ball right off him, and right there a block that caught him in the leg area where there's no padding. Maybe his hand, actually, as he seems to be shaking that out just a little bit. Majors do have some catching options, some versatility back there if the need arises, but Eduardo Diolio has been a stalwart behind the plate the last few seasons. He's played all 42 games each of the last 2 years.
I don't know if it was the last game here at home or the game before, but I mentioned that Eduardo Diolio is basically just a brick wall. It is really hard to damage him. You can just really just throw pitches at him. You can beat him up a little bit, but he is, like you said, a stalwart behind the plate and just Mr. Consistent when it comes to playing in these ball games.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here in the inning, bases loaded for Matteo Zeppieri.
Crowd starting to get into it.
The pitch upstairs. Count runs full, so the runners will be off of the pitch. The bases are loaded. There's 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. Zeppieri does not have a hit in the ball game, but has worked 2 walks in a position to draw potentially a third. Panthers try to claw their way back.
A very big shout out to the Panthers in terms of their plate discipline and their approach in this one.
That's ball 4. Fastball misses up and in on Zeppieri. He works a walk. The bases remain loaded as a run comes across to score. It's 8-3, and Petey Kiefer will step into the batter's box as Roop Chanderdat makes his way to the mound. Some frustration for Laird, you can tell, as he's been dealing with this dirt situation because of the rain. And so that will spell the end of his outing after 29 pitches, 2/3 of an inning. He leaves the bases loaded with 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. A new arm coming in will get you all the information on the other side of the break. You're watching Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy, starting at just $15.95. Fully customizable with your team's logo, colors, and player details, and double-sided for twice the impact. A custom plate can be attached to the base for personalized engraving on each trophy. Great for player recognition. Ideal for keeper awards, participation trophies, or end-of-season celebrations. Order yours today at Nuthers.com or call 1-800-265-1554.
Canada's ball team.
Back now inside Labatt Park. New arm into the ball game for the London Majors. Another left-hander, Dustin Davidson, takes over. Justin.
Dustin Davidson, side armor. Really, really fun to watch him out on the mound. So far here in 2026, has not given up a run. 4 2/3 innings pitched, given up just 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out 7 during the course of his matches. 5 appearances so far. Again, pretty consistent across the board. Really, really tough to score up any pitches when it's just such a unique delivery coming in from the mound. Especially when some of these pitches, especially a fastball, can almost appear to be going up in the strike zone. Of course, everyone loves to talk about submarine pitchers, side armors, always interesting. And I know Koehler general manager Roop Chanderdat must just love having that different slot on in his bullpen.
First batter he'll face is Petey Kiefer. Pitch from Davidson on the way. In there for a strike, 0-1. Tough on lefties is Dustin Davidson. He will face a lefty here. Tying run on deck for Kitchener. Power bat Malik Williams. Davidson would love to end the inning right here. Gets a chase from Kiefer there, and it's 0-2.
The good thing about Davidson is he's really prone to inducing some soft contact. In a situation where there's 1 out, none out, he's really, really good at trying to get those double plays, to force action on the infield, but just needs 1 here late in this game.
1 ball, 2 strikes as that pitch misses well outside and doesn't tempt Kiefer in the batter's box. Kiefer 0 for 4 in the ball game this evening. Davidson ready. The offering. Fouled off at the plate, again off Diolio.
Panthers still really threatening here. A great opportunity for them if they can get some solid contact.
Single gets them to within striking distance. Koehler trying to make that happen. 1-2. Did he go? No. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases loaded here in the inning. Davidson ready. The offering. Fouled off of DiOlio again. My goodness. This has got to be a frustrating inning for Eduardo DiOlio back there.
And this has just been battle after battle after battle in this inning. Great efforts from the Panthers. Of course, like you just mentioned, DiOlio getting a little banged up back there as well. Home plate umpire Brian Muntz just giving him a little chance to get yet another breather here in this one.
So we'll try again here on 2-2 with 2 out. DiOlio ready behind the plate. Davidson ready on the rubber. Here's the offering. Fouled off. Good battle being put together by Koehler here after falling behind 0-2 in the at-bat.
Zeppieri, who's on first, was just clapping and looking right back over at Koehler. Almost commending him for the at-bat so far on his way back over to first.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Big spot here. Davidson trying to get the majors out of it. Offering on its way. Chopped. Foul again. It's an 8-pitch at-bat for Petey Koehler.
It all comes down to who's going to give first. Some good pitches so far from Davidson in there, making it competitive across the board. Good job by Koehler to battle off some of those borderline pitches.
2-2, misses. Count runs full. So another full count here on a Kitchener Panther. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. The runners will be off on the pitch. Koehler trying to win this battle. Next pitch will be the 10th of the plate appearance. The payoff. Called strike 3. Davidson freezes him. And the Majors strand the bases loaded. They remain in the lead, 8-3.
Koehler not too happy about it, but Dusty, that's the exact outcome that you wanted. He was pounding the outer part of the plate consistently, almost just trying to inch his way, get as close to the edge of the zone as possible, and finally one that just was able to break a few inches back inside the plate, goes his way. And what a good job by him to shut down that effort from the Kitchener Panthers.
Well, the Majors will get back on offense here, trying to extend their lead. They still have a pretty sizable cushion at 5 runs. The Panthers are not within striking distance, but still would like to add on if you can. Appears to be Hewitt back out there. Now, I want to touch on some of the biggest news of the night, Justin. I don't know if you've seen this because I think it broke during the game.
Oh.
But we now have a location for the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding. Can you guess where it is? Do you know the answer, first of all?
I haven't a single clue
where
it is.
This is good television. So, where do you think? I'm going to give you 3 guesses. Where do you think? We got the camera on us here, so we'll see you think. Where do you think the wedding is? 3 guesses.
You know, you naturally, obviously, Travis Kelce, you think Kansas City. I think that's almost a bit too on the nose. I'm not going to go there. Oh, man. Taylor Swift has a lot of ties to the southern portion of the U.S.
Okay. We got to get moving here, Justin.
Oh, I'm really bad at geography. You know, let's throw one out there. Let's just make it dicey. International appeal. Let's throw Paris out there.
Paris is incorrect. Wrong continent.
Wrong continent.
We got to get 2 guesses in here quick.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Baseball. Let's throw somewhere in the south. Louisville. Let's throw that out there.
Random. Also wrong. All right. You got the wrong part of the U.S. Think northern United States, one of the more iconic venues in sports. You've got 1 guess left.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. 3rd time's the charm.
There we go.
That is the location of the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce wedding, because I know everybody was wondering. All right. Bottom of the 8th inning about to get underway here at Labatt Park.
I would not have ever guessed there if you did not give me the layup of layups right there.
It'll be Babiak, Dreyers, and Escato here, due up for the Majors in the bottom of the 8th inning. That's according to TMZ, so we'll see if it's accurate. I'm sure it is. Ball's rolled over to first base. Play from Lawson over to the pitcher Hewitt covering, and there's one gone here in the 8th.
Very key U.S. landmark. Oh, so Disney World.
David Dreyers into the batter's box now after a quick out there for Babiak.
Dreyer's been putting the work in so far. Had that sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd, but has been a strikeout victim since. 300 average on the year so far.
First pitch to him misses for ball 1.
6 hits on the season, half of which, though, have gone for extras. 2 doubles and a homer to his name this season.
That one scorched into right field, sinking quickly. Penalve gets to it, makes the catch in a slide. And there's 2 gone.
Quick one so far. Again, if you're the Panthers, this is exactly what you want to be doing. You're starting to run out of opportunities to bridge the gap here. Still down 8-3, but that all starts with limiting the offense as much as possible. And doing it in a pretty efficient way so far, already down to 2 outs.
Michael Escato into the batter's box here. Hits this one hard, up the middle, base hit for Escato. Second hit of the ball game for him, and he's aboard with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
You know, he made that look way too easy. Just good contact in the box. Quick shuffle over towards first. Good amount away from the shortstop, Kiefer. Good at-bat from him, and it's those easy at-bats for him where he just makes it look really, really simple in the box that have really contributed to his success so far. Another time on base, a pretty solid contributor here against the Panthers.
Trent Lenahan into the batter's box. Comes up empty on that swing. 0-1. Lenahan homered in his last trip.
Big, loud home run at that as well, no doubter.
Hewitt readies. Quick throw over to first. Escato back scrambling and standing. Lawson had to reach over to make a nice stab. Says to Escato, I got you, don't worry.
Almost saw a little Jack Sparrow in that run back over to first.
Good reference. I was a big Pirates of the Caribbean guy when I was a kid. Escato now running. Lenahan takes high, 1-1.
Great movies. I was obsessed with those movies when I was a kid.
One ball, one strike, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Majors up by 5. It's 8-3. Rolled over to shortstop. Kiefer to his left, flips to second. Scansey makes the play, and that'll end the inning. We head to the 9th. Majors have a 5-run lead here, trying to hold on to it and make it 2 consecutive victories. You're watching the Majors and Panthers live on Majors TV.
Canada's ball teams deserve uniforms built to win. VMS Sportswear delivers custom jerseys, pants, and caps. Level up your look with custom team apparel. Choose your colors. Drop your logo. Own your look. Order now at vmssportswear.ca.
We got this, united, step it up, keep on thriving, we trying, keep shining, living in a world where we colliding.
When we're together, amazing things happen. Feel what it means to be greater together.
Shine on.
Right at the corner of Warncliffe and Emery, Ellie's Pizzeria is your neighborhood spot for real, handcrafted pizza, using locally sourced flour for their dough and fresh ingredients from local farms for incredible flavor in every bite. Stop in before 3 p.m. for a slice and a pop for just $5, or 2 for $9. Ellie's Pizzeria, made local, made right.
Back now at Labatt Park as the Majors try to close this one out. Dustin Davidson is back out there for London. Took him 10 pitches to set down Petey Kiefer to end the 8th, but did so successfully.
Great effort from him. We mentioned his numbers, been Mr. Consistent, I would almost say, when it comes to pitchers out of the Majors bullpen. Incredibly sharp. Again, a lot of that comes down to his delivery, how he keeps these batters off guard, but is continuing his stretch of not allowing a run here in 2026 and really putting a limit on the hits and base runners that he's allowing as well.
He will have to face 3, 4, and 5 in the Panthers' order. Williams, Penalve, and Gross. So not an easy stretch for the Majors left-hander. As the rain has morphed into more of a drizzle here at this stage of the ball game.
We're getting the odd little breeze still late in the going, but it's still muggy and humid here in London, Ontario as well.
That is a very good assessment. Pitches in there for a strike to Williams. Majors had to wiggle out of some trouble in the 8th inning. The heavy rain causing some issues for them on the mound. Loaded the bases, issued a bases loaded walk as Williams doesn't bite on that pitch. And then nearly issued another free pass to Petey Kiefer when Dustin Davidson came into the ball game, but able to work out of it. 1-1 count here. Pitch to Williams. Off the plate outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I will say for Dusty as well, in his 5 previous appearances, he's thrown 51 pitches. So you do the math on that, and he's been incredibly efficient across the board. That just barely over 10 pitches per appearance so far.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Williams, who is 2 for 4 in the ball game. Trying to work Davidson after Kiefer did so in the 8th. Fouls this one off. I don't know if that got as much of a chunk of Diolio or if it just slipped past him, but Diolio was getting peppered last inning.
Yeah, you can say that again. A real trooper back there behind the dish.
Long look in from Davidson. Comes set. The offering. Hit hard, hit foul. We'll try again on 2-2.
I will say, if you're the Kitchener Panthers in this one, even though you've only gotten 3 runs off 10 hits, there's a lot to be pleased with so far in this game. Their plate discipline and their contact ability has been pretty exceptional, to say the least. So even though the score might not reflect it, when these batters are in the box, they're doing a great job of just finding ways on base when they can.
Count runs full here. It's 3-2. Long look in from Davidson. Already at 17 pitches through 2 batters fouled off. Make it 18. Not yet through the second.
No movement really in the Majors bullpen at all, so for the time being, it looks like it is Dusty's game.
Davidson ready. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. How about that at bat from Malik Williams? Works a walk and reaches to begin the 9th inning.
Impressive stuff. You also got to point out the mental side of being down 8-3 in a contest like this. One more chance here in the top of the 9th to try and get some runs on the board. It's really hard to not want to be the man that gets it all done. Sometimes it's very easy to try and go for something extra bases, try and club one all the way out as a homer and do a little bit too much, but that can sometimes really bite you in the butt in some cases when really you just got to trust the rest of the lineup, the guy after you, to get on base.
Pinch runner over at first base for the Panthers. It is Jamie Cabral taking over for Malik Williams as Yosvani Penalve will step into the batter's box. Penalve reached base in his second trip to the plate, a single on a line to center field. That pitch misses. It's ball 1 to Penalve.
Again, quite the offensive showing across the board here. 22 total hits in the ball game.
Certainly has been an offensive display for both teams. More so the majors. Kitchener's had a hard time getting runs across, though they certainly have had the base runners. 1-1. Outside corner, 1-2.
For a bit of context in this one, 22 total hits in the ball game. Just 1 hit more than the Cardinals have runs against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 21-0 in the top of the 8th.
Wow, that is quite the score. I don't know where that ranks in terms of all-time routes in IBL history. It would be the largest victory in the CBL, but that is not saying much considering the CBL is less than a year old. That one is hit in the air, right field, sinking quickly. It'll drop. Cabral pulls up at second. It gets by Zadunik. Cabral going to third. He'll get the stop sign there. So a single and an error puts 2 runners in scoring position here for the Kitchener Panthers.
Tough one there, but anything can happen when you get the ball in play. Again, we haven't been seeing any crazy power pretty much across the board, apart from that one big shot off the bat at Trent Lenahan. But the Panthers have been doing well enough to get runners on with a small ball focus. Another chance to try and add to their totals when it comes to hitting with runners in scoring position, which appears to have been a bit of a struggle so far.
And now Majors manager Roop Chanardad heading out to the mound. Skylar Janice is loosening in the bullpen. Whether this is a little mound visit or a pitching change, we'll see. But the slow walk tells me that might be the end of the game for Dustin Davidson. We'll see what Roop has in store. And it is the end of the outing for Davidson here. So Skylar Janice will come into the ball game for the Majors, trying to earn the save and close this one out.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Stand out this season with the Jersey Acrylic Trophy, starting at just $15.95. Fully customizable with your team's logo, colors, and player details, and double-sided for twice the impact. A custom plate can be attached to the base for personalized engraving on each trophy. Great for player recognition.
Back now inside Labatt Park. New arm into the ball game to face Rafael Gross. It is the closer, Skylar Janice.
Skylar Janice been pretty sharp, to say the least, across the board. Still has not allowed a run in 2026. 3 saves in total in 3 2/3 innings. Just 1 hit given up by Janice so far as well. 1 walk, but 6 strikeouts. So pretty impressive numbers so far.
0-1 count here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Gross 2 for 4 in the ball game. Now, based on the score, it is not necessarily a save situation, but because Janice is taking over for Davidson, who began the 9th inning, he would be in line for the save if he can close this one out, and that is, I know, something that is important to Janice, who set the saves record last season in the Intercounty Baseball League. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pitches in the dirt, so Diolio will have to complete the putout to first. Gets Gross, and there's one gone here in the 9th.
That's the way to get it going. And yeah, like you mentioned, when I spoke to Janice before the season got underway about that 2025 reliever of the year accolade that he racked up. He acknowledged how difficult it would be, especially in the jump-in leagues, to once again try and go for that same reliever of the year, trying to dominate when it comes to the save opportunities. But he acknowledged that is on his to-do list for 2026, and been really playing the part here as well.
First pitch misses to Junior Ibarra. Ibarra is 3 for 4 in the ball game today. There's a run batted in as well. It has been one of the better offensive performances for Ibarra this season.
Some solid work from him, some good contact. 3 singles in the ball game.
Takes high, 2-0. This is the second multi-hit game that Ibarra has had this year. Went 2 for 4 against Hamilton in Kitchener's second contest of the season. But a 3-hit game for the first time this year. That pitch misses as well from Janice, so the count now 3-0 on Ibarra.
Obviously, we've been talking about Ibarra's plate approach in this one so far. His ability to get on. Wouldn't be too shocked for them to almost pitch around him a little bit with first base open. Still a 5-run lead. You don't want to give them too much of a leash in terms of trying to come back here, but I wouldn't be too shocked. With Trent Lawson up next.
That one gets right to the backstop. Racing in is Cabral. He will score. So it's a walk for Ibarra, wild pitch. Takes a hard turn around first, but will stay there. Runners on the corners now as the Panthers get to within 4.
Again, this just comes down to the solid effort that the Panthers have been showing so far. Been behind for much of the game except for the opening couple innings. It's a lot mentally to try and battle back from, especially when the Majors were scoring run after run through those middle innings, that stretch there. So it can be a daunting task. Almost feel like a David and Goliath situation at times, trying to come back. But we know how that story ends, and that's something that the Majors will be looking to shut down here. Still a 4-run lead.
0-1 count here to Trent Lawson. That one's there for a strike, and it's 0-2. 0-2 count here on Lawson. Tying run on deck. In the form of Zane Scansey. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A pivotal strikeout for Janice there, and Kitchener down to their final out here in this one.
A little bit dicey. The crowd here at Labatt Memorial Park really starting to get into it here. Some opportunities for the Panthers. Still a lead for the Majors. A lot can change really quick. It's made for an exciting ball game for a Friday night.
Zane Scansey into the batter's box, takes a strike. It's 0-1. That one hit hard to shortstop. Escato, big bounce, flips to second. That's the ball game. Nice play by Michael Escato to end this one as Ibarra is retired at second base, and that'll do it. The Majors pick up their second consecutive victory, an 8-4 contest over the Kitchener Panthers.
What a showing top to bottom. You got to commend the Kitchener Panthers for staying involved in the ball game. Plenty of hits on the board. Again, we've said it. The Majors only out-hit them 12-11, so they were doing all that they could to try and get some base runners on, but it all came up to hitting with runners in scoring position, timely hitting. The Majors have really been working on it throughout the course of the season so far and really ramped it up here against the Panthers today.
So a strong performance here for the Majors in this one as they take down the Kitchener Panthers by a score of 8-4. The offense was clicking. Travis Keys settled right in after a shaky first inning for London, and the Majors make it back-to-back victories with a win in this one. Really strong performances throughout the lineup for London. Trent Lenihan went deep. Michael Escato drove in 3 runs, got on base a couple of times, and a lot that the Majors can build off of as they move through another busy weekend of play here in the Canadian Baseball League. They're in Guelph tomorrow, in action on Sunday as well in Toronto. So a good start to the weekend for London, who improves to 7-3 on the season with the victory in their 10th game. And a lot to like if you're the London Majors, if you're Roop Chanderdat in this evening's affair. So we will send it down to field level now. Our very own Evan Fredrickson is with tonight's Nuthers Player of the Game.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Here with Michael Lascaro, the Player of the Game. Michael, how are you feeling right now?
Escoto, ¿cómo te sientes ahora por ser jugador de juego? ¿Cómo te sientes ahora?
Feliz, algo que quería desde que llegué aquí, ya lo logré, seguir continuando.
He's very happy right now. He keep going and it's better all days more.
You had that clutch hit in the bottom of the 6th inning where you drove in 2 runs. That big hit in that game. What was your approach during that at bat in the bottom of the 6th?
¿Cómo fue la aproximación tuya al bate en ese 6º inning que pusiste 2 carreras?
Solamente quería poner la bola en juego y que pase lo que Dios quiera.
Only he want put the ball in game and try to score the more runs I can.
And now with the win, you guys extend your winning streak to 2 games. What do you guys have to do to continue that momentum?
Que ¿Cómo te sientes ganando 2 partidos así seguidos ahora? ¿Cómo sientes el equipo en el momento ahora?
Estamos felices y hay que seguir hasta lograr el objetivo que queda campeón.
Very happy and our objective is a championship. That's it.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Welcome. Gracias.
Thank you.
Michael Escato, tonight's Nuthers Player of the Game. A well-deserved honor for him, Justin. A strong offensive performance.
Just across the board, top to bottom, the entire Majors roster was doing what they could when they had to. Again, we kind of attributed them to 2 rough portions of their game across the early goings of the season. That is hitting in the middle of the ball game and hitting with runners in scoring position. They did both impeccably well here against the Kitchener Panthers.
How about a word for the defense as well for the Majors in this game? Couple of plays that stand out for me. The one that Escato made in the 5-6 hole, ranging to his right, making the play on the backhand, and the little stab by Christian Anoa at second base after it tipped off the wrist of Trent Lenahan.
Got to give a shout out to Travis Keys as well. Again, made another good play on the mound defensively as a pitcher. Not his first time here in 2026, and a good outing from him to limit the runs. Kind of put things in their favor early for the Majors on the pitching side, even though the offense was definitely the standout portion today.
Absolutely it was. The pitching staff as well. Keys settled right in after a shaky first inning, and not really optimal conditions for a pitcher tonight. We saw Zach Laird dealing with the mud on the mound, some slippery baseballs for him and Dustin Davidson, but the pitchers battled through and only gave up 4 runs in the ballgame.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it wasn't just exciting on the field. Every single aspect of the ball game was just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
The defense, the offense, the base running. We got a nice little home run mixed in there as well. And then, of course, Mother Nature wanted to chime in, too. So it was really just a complete package for some Friday night baseball today.
Well, Trent Lenahan, his first home run at Labatt Park this season, is 4th of the campaign. The Majors walk away with the win, their 2nd consecutive victory. That'll do it for our coverage of this evening's affair here at the Forks of the Thames. The Majors have 2 wins in a row going to Guelph tomorrow, and then in Toronto on Sunday. Return home next Friday night for Evan Fredrickson and Justin Koehler. The rest of our Majors TV crew, my name is Dylan Baker, saying thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll talk to you again next Friday right here at Labatt Park.